damn it.
He's hiding out tonight.
Alrighty, and welcome to this week's NOVAtazz Automotive Podcast. This is episode 33 of season 2, and we have Chris here already. Something we haven't had the
Surprise!
pleasure of. Something we haven't had the pleasure of in a little while. Hello, Pilot. Hello, Mrs. Formie. How you two doing? What's going on in, I can't even pronounce that name. Wawatusa, I'm guessing. What was going on out in your neck of the woods, Pilot?
Waukesha?
I don't know what it is. It's Wauwatosa.
Waukesha.
Okay, so what's going on out there? Apparently it was an interesting week for him. Oh, riots. What are they rioting about now? The only thing I'd be interested in rioting about now is for the freaking world to go back to the way it freaking should be and everybody to stop being afraid of a virus.
Crap.
Alright, chat check. Everything sound good and look okay out there in the YouTube land? I think I crossed my T's and dotted my I's. I checked the internet speed before I got on today. We're at 250 download and we're at 12 upload, so we should be good. More than enough.
Sweet.
More than enough internet to run today. I could run like 10 live streams on that freaking at that speed. Oh my God, they'll just riot about anything, aren't they?
What are they rioting about?
They're rioting about a black cop that shot a black kid. He was apparently 17 and had a gun at the mall. I'm sorry, but you know, I don't know. I obviously don't know anything about this other than what I just read. But if you're a kid, well, if you're anybody with a gun at the mall, like, what did you think was going to happen? Well, that just makes it even more stupid. Kid shot first at the cop. Again, what did you think? You think he was just going to hand you a freaking bag of jelly beans and said it's okay, kid? Oh, I don't know. Well, we will try to stay away from political crap on this live stream. That's not something that I enjoy talking in the shop about, but you know,
It's everywhere.
Oh yeah, it's everywhere. It's just stupidity. I mean, oh my God, my coffee's too hot. Let me sue somebody. Let me get upset about it. You know, well, I mean, that obviously this isn't that type of situation, but still. Exactly. Glad you're safe, Pilot. And honestly, you know, regardless of whether whatever, but because of the police department, we have the ability to feel somewhat safe. I mean, they're only human as well, so you know, people make mistakes, people have bad judgment on both sides of the fence. Do not know what was going through that kid's head, you know, but obviously he made a mistake that he did not live to. Well, I didn't say that he died, because I don't think I didn't see you say he killed a black kid. But, you know, if he did live, he's going to regret today. And if he didn't live, well, yeah, he didn't live to regret that decision of walking into a mall with a freaking gun and shooting at a cop. You know, and then again, maybe that might have been his, it might have been his intention to begin with.
Ultimate goal.
Yeah, he could have been wanting to not be alive anymore and decided to use a cop to do it because he didn't have the guts to do it himself. Not that I'll flat out admit I have depression, so I'm not joking about things like that. As far as I'm concerned, nothing's ever worth taking your own life. But yeah, I mean that's the people again are human and they deal with emotions, and nobody said that any of it is necessarily rational either. Not that I'm saying that that's what this was. It's just it could have just been bad circumstances and poor judgment. But yeah, that's a great way to start off our live stream. We're only what? Only a couple minutes in. All right, let's find some happy stuff here. So, anybody got anything automotive in the last week that we haven't talked about that's going new? I know.
Other than being surrounded and passed by the Fast and Furious exotics.
Oh, we're down by
this morning.
What was going on down there today?
I don't know if they were having a rally or just a cruise, what they're doing, but I mean, it started good the other day in Connecticut or New York.
Was that when you had
I run a load?
Lamborghini?
I run a load to Connecticut, but
was that the Lamborghini?
No, that's kind of. That was a side gig. Nice car, but it just in the truck itself, I got to drive by a McLaren dealer.
Oh,
there's something to be said about an exotic dealer with all them cars sitting outside. You just look and you think, there's a couple $1 million worth of
there's half
high
the city's
insurance.
There's half the city's worth all in one spot.
Yeah, pretty much. but today it was a couple McLarens, a Lamborghini, a bunch of Porsches, a Ferrari, and
have you ever been
some
down to the one in
R8s.
Philly?
No. I'd like to.
That's
but
where Mike gets most of his exotics from, is down there. He had a video of one of the newer McLarens, and God, is that thing gorgeous! It was a black to red to orange fade, all in that freaking high pearl metallic that they use. Oh, it was gorgeous. And the whole interior was themed to match. It was, and the thing is, it wasn't a customer car. It is a McLaren car. In other words, it was McLaren showing off what their special order department can do. And so there was everything. There wasn't a part of that car that wasn't touched by their special order. I forget what they call it. They call it McLaren's. I can't remember what it's called. But that's how Street Speed Mike got that green car that he had with all the custom options on it. It was the same thing. He had it custom ordered.
Okay.
But yeah, so it was a sweet ass car. So the car that you picked up, that white one, that was my dream car when I was a kid for a Lamborghini.
Oh, trust me, you and me both. I will have one before I die.
I know that the car itself, okay, regardless of what I think of it, because I'm going to be clouded if I give it my judgment because of what I like of it. But from what I remember, the car itself was not that great of a car. Visibility was damn near fucking miserable. I do believe the car didn't run very well. It ran well when it was being put through its paces, but I mean like a daily driver, like a streetable car, it wasn't that great. But then again, I don't think it was ever meant to be that.
No.
So, but yeah, as an everyday person to own one of those cars, it probably wasn't that great. But when you had it out on the track, it's a different story, different animal.
Yeah, I mean that's a picture you could share, but due to the contract we have in that aspect arena, I'm basically under a gag order.
Yeah.
As to where I picked it up, where I took it to.
No, nobody wants that information anyway, unless they were planning something devious anyway.
Yeah. But just the fact that I still get to be able to do that, it's like, so yeah. I mean, if there's one of those that's safe for the stream, if you want to share one of them pictures, feel free to do so.
That's why I use Big E. I can't share any of that stuff because it starts messing up the StreamYard image.
So we'll have to wait for Big E to come in if he comes in to do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard from him in a little while, so who knows?
I've done several of them. You know, the one part I can say is I've done several of them moves from the SEMA show in Vegas to our dock in LA. And it's real interesting when you get the load, because basically you're beside the car, you step into essentially a tarp constructed. You know, think of a photo booth like you see in the mall, where you get in, you shut the curtain, you get into one of them, which is basically, you know, it's 8 foot tall, an enclosed roof to the floor, and you strip down to nothing, and you put this little paper suit on, and these, you know, little paper boots and stuff. You know, basically you're head to toe covered in some sort of, you know, vinyl gloves, whatever. And that's what you get in the car and load it with and get out of the car, you know, and then you go back and put your regular clothes on. I've had a few, you know, like SUV style type vehicles where you literally got to crawl in the vehicle from the back of it in order to get, you know, because I'm just face it, we don't have car trailers. So, yeah, once you're in there, you're not opening a door, and there's not enough room to climb out a window. So you're coming out through the rear of the vehicle when it's available, you know, the capability to do so. But yeah, that's fun. I mean, it's some of the ones I've hands-on over the years. It's just, you know, hey, I face it, I'm like a little kid.
Right?
Yeah, it's a cross between a little kid with the greatest Hot Wheels collection and stumbling across your daddy's Playboy collection at the same time. It's like, yeah, you know, just chew on your hand. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe this has happened to me type thing.
All right.
And it don't get old, so I don't care who anybody says, you know. You know, maybe if you were around them daily on a daily basis, that'd be one thing, but my exposure is more, you know, I get a phone call, hey, can you hell yeah, when are we leaving?
Pilot asked where you're at right now, Chris.
I am the great state. You know, I don't know, you could almost make this a poll question if you wanted to.
No.
Because we can safely say I am about 1,000 miles away from my normal route.
He has found the wrong
I'm in the wrong zip code. How about that?
Pretty much.
Literally.
He's made a wrong turn in Albuquerque.
I feel like it. And it's been nothing but monsoon all day down here.
If you haven't hit the like button yet, please do. And if you haven't shared the stream yet, please do. Let's get this out here. Let's get some new people in here and see what kind of conversations we can get going. So you're as far as I remember, Chris, you're about south. You have flown south for the winter already.
Yeah, I'm way south.
So he's a little bit farther south than his normal route, and apparently he's also dealing with a little bit of weather. So there's your two clues. He's a little bit south, and he's dealing with some weather. That should give you a good idea about where he's at if you know the national weather for today. Oh.
Yeah, a lot of weather, and if it'll help any better, I got to listen to race engines in the air today. So there's a big clue for anybody that follows that arena.
Well, there you go.
Because I got to drive past that facility.
You went south, and it's just a 6. Gavin and his crew came up here to PA today.
Oh, go figure.
He's the one with the black Mustang named Satan.
Okay.
And then he also just gave away a blue Viper, and now he's giving away a blue Mustang. But yeah, so he's also the one it's Trace and Mello, the I guess he's kind of rap hip hop ish band that me and Nikolai and I think Jonathan also listened to.
All right.
But anyway, so he came up here. He came up to Corsa Performance, not Corsa. The brand that's on my TA. Hold on, brain fart. They do the 2.5-inch exhaust for the TAs, the classic TAs. It's right up here in like Hatfield, Pennsylvania. Come on, brain. I'll have to remember it later. If I try to remember it now, I won't. I'm just gonna sit here and brain fart. But yeah, there's an exhaust company up here, up near Lansdale.
Lansford?
No, not Lansford, Lansdale. Out by Lansdale, Pennsylvania, and it's the exact same exhaust system I have on my TA, and I just can't think of it right now. But he came up here to go visit them, and a few other people. I think some YouTubers and stuff. I know one person. I guarantee you, he won't be coming up here to come see.
You.
Well, yeah, besides me.
Him.
Huh?
Him.
Besides me.
You could do that in the movie. Him.
No, it'll be Mike, because him and Mike haven't gotten along since that YouTuber call out thing, the one down in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Where he basically blew him off. But yeah, because Gavin looked up to Mike up until that moment, and then after that moment, they've had a beef ever since. But yeah, he coming up here. You're going down there. Oh,
I'm all out of place. I didn't even get a day off on this one. It was like I got in, and then that opportunity come up, did that quick, and then come back in. And it's like, yeah, can you load tonight? So I ended up doing a trip up into Connecticut with 7 drops, and then reloaded 2 drops coming back down to New York and New Jersey to our dock, and then loaded this one and went straight south. So there's another clue for y'all. I mean, it almost could be considered deep south where I'm going to end up at.
Yeah. Everybody in the chat just got 10,000 points, by the way. Yeah, as long as Streamlabs is doing its thing. So we'll see.
And it's a very good possibility I'm going to get to my stopping point while we're on the show.
Oh.
Are very close because we only got 191 miles to go.
What's that going to mean for us?
I might turn on more lights. Not that I'd want to ruin the show showing my mug.
Right. So I have to give it a couple minutes to see if it updates, but I think it should have worked. Anywho.
I'm not that far south. Where I'm at, I've been in the rain all day long.
Yeah, he says it's not raining in Florida.
Yeah, it's not that far south.
So I had an automotive weekend for once, and it wasn't going to the Cops, Cars, and Coffee that Mike hosts down by not Mike hosts it, but Mike normally goes to it down by Hershey. I didn't go to that. Saturday, I helped my mom's Exploder has been sitting in her mother-in-law's garage for the last year up on jack stands. And
what's wrong with it?
Well, when she originally got it, she got it for free from her old boss. It was not running. The transmission was blown and some other things. Well, they went and got it. What?
Fuel pump, one of the issues?
No, I don't know what it was. But oh, that's different. Anyway, so about a year ago, I had helped start them get this thing in. Now it's a Ford/Mazda transmission. It's an automatic, and there is no bell housing cover. The only way to access the bell housing is through the hole that the starter gets plugged into. And so we thought, all right, this is about a year ago. We'll bolt the torque converter to the flex plate first while we have the transmission not on it, and then slide the transmission on it and try to wiggle everything together. Never freaking worked. I ended up having to leave that day, and they were supposed to get somebody else to go help because I wasn't able to come back. Fast forward a year later, and several people not showing up that they decided to help. She asked me, "Hey, I need to get this truck out of, my mother-in-law's garage because she needs to change her oil tank out that sits in their garage. And so I went down there. We actually got it back in. We pulled the transmission back out. I pulled the torque converter off of the flex plate. Got that all back in, and couldn't figure out why we couldn't get the transmission to slide all the way up to the freaking engine. This is just a really bonehead move, but we forgot that, oh wait, the torque converter has the little studs that come out of the torque converter, and it's actually nuts that screw onto the studs on the other side of the flex plate. Because everything that I've worked on
is a bolt and a nut.
Yeah, or just a bolt. So it never even thought to occur that I had to line up the torque converter to the flex plate before stabbing the transmission on. Everything else, you just stab it in, you hook it back, you hook it up together, and then you go in there and you spin the torque converter until the bolt holes line up, and you throw them in. So we were like cursing, and that transmission is freaking heavy because I think it's a 6-speed automatic. It's a heavy sucker. And we finally got it stabbed together, and then we got the 4-wheel drive unit bolted up into it. Got all the cross members up in. But yeah, I mean, so I finally got that up and in. It's up to my stepfather to get the rest of it buttoned back up, because he recovered from, he had triple heart bypass surgery a while ago, and apparently he ended up getting an infection from that, and it ate his breastbone. Literally, it's gone. It was eaten. The infection ate the actual bone itself. Yep, and he ended up having a piece of his stomach. So like most people have a 6-pack. They took half of his 6-pack, flipped it up onto his freaking chest to help hold all that stuff together. But he hasn't been feeling the greatest, and he wasn't able to do any of that himself because he can't lift or anything that heavy by himself. I mean, he has
loaf for bread. It works him out.
Right, and he also has a sensitivity to cold and heat. But yeah, so I ended up getting most of that stuff up in. Everything else he should be able to do. Drive shafts, hooking all the wiring back up and all that stuff. He should be able to do all that. But throwing that transmission around by hand, because we have a trans jack, but the bottom pan on those Ford transmissions, it's not flat. Like every other one that I've ever had, it's had a flat pan. The Dodge stuff, the Chevy stuff, all has a flat pan. So it sits on the trans jack nice and pretty, right? This thing does not. It's got like a bulge in the center of the bottom of the pan, so it just rocks back and forth on that transmission jack. So I eventually told him, I said, just let's get it part way up, and then pull that jack out, and I'll just manhandle it the rest of the way in, which is what we ended up doing. Because trying to get it to balance on that jack stand was that transmission jack was just a nightmare. I thought my Dodge transmission was a pain in the ass. That Ford one is worse. And like I said, to be able to put the bolts in for the flex plate, you have that little 2-inch window where the starter bolts in to do anything. So like even trying to turn the flex plate to be able to get to the next bolt hole is a pain in the ass, because you also have the pumpkin for the front rear right there in your face. Everything is right there in that corner, and trying to get tools up in there was just a pain in the butt. I'll take my Chevy turbo hydromatic freaking transmissions any day. Those things are so easy.
Yeah.
I mean, they're even light enough you can lift them up. You don't even need a jack for those. You just balance that sit right on your stomach and just bench press them right in place. But,
all I can say is I hope Pilot's got a lot of ice house tonight.
Oh, why is that?
Well, if you look at his latest comment, he's so hot in that other question we asked, he's going to melt the ice house down.
Wait, the only thing that I've seen, unless there's something new, is the road Charlotte race in the rain with race tires.
Exactly.
With rain tires. Well, see, this is
what was one of the clues I gave.
Oh, got you.
Uh-huh.
You're right down near Lindsay. My my friend that's down there in North Carolina. But
yeah, it was.
I don't know. I can't imagine NASCAR running in the rain.
I should have thought ahead of time I found about this. I should have shouted you, hey, they got any shine down there? Because, have truck will deliver.
I haven't talked to her in a while, except for here and there. Once she stopped doing the automotive stuff, she kind of just disappeared. What happened is her and that guy broke up, and when her and that guy broke up, she kind of just she dropped off the face of the earth. Because remember, she was coming on my live streams about that.
Yeah.
And then she just poofed.
Kind of withdrawed into herself.
Yep, pretty much. But yeah, I don't know if I can imagine freaking NASCAR running on rain tires and doing a rain race. I don't know. I don't even think I'd
that's where he was pointing to?
Yeah, he said that's what he was pointing to. I think he was pointing to the fact that that's where the rain was at today. I don't even know if I'd recognize NASCAR anymore. It's kind of like, you remember that cartoon that they came out with in the 90s? The futuristic NASCAR / Hot Wheels cartoon?
Yeah.
That's kind of what NASCAR feels like it's gone to. They've made so many changes and done whatever that it doesn't even feel like NASCAR anymore.
It's going to be even worse next year.
Wow, what's going on next year?
NASCAR has, in their infinite wisdom / brainhead stuck up our ass mentality, decided that they are going to build all the cars and the teams will buy the car from them. Now, it is going to save money in that aspect, but every single car is going to build exactly the same, and the teams will buy all the parts like a store from NASCAR and whoever the contractor they get to build the cars.
Oh, that's just going to be... that's what made NASCAR interesting back in the day, was the fact that everybody built their cars slightly different, and so... it's just going to be who gets fucking lucky.
Yeah.
It's going to be who's in the right place at the right time. That's what it's going to be.
Who takes the pit stop at the right time and who doesn't.
Pilot says, it's IROC. And that's the problem if you ever remember watching the IROC races. The cars were too identical. Nobody could get an edge off of somebody else. It was a matter of being in the right place at the right time, because it's not like NASCAR is full of road courses to where driver input is, you have to be able to drive your car. You know what I mean?
Next year will be, because they're going to be running 6 different road courses.
Yeah, it's not even NASCAR anymore. That's what they should just drop the name. Because it's
just car.
It's something. It's not even car. But and that's just a shame, because NASCAR used to be so fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
This started back in the 90s.
My opinion's like everybody. NASCAR died when Earnhardt died.
No.
Period.
I hate to tell you this. I think NASCAR died a long time before that. Do you know when I think NASCAR died?
When?
Bill Elliott.
Oh.
When he retired.
No. When he pulled that 212-mile-an-hour lap.
Oh, yeah, Talladega. Thank you. Unrestricted.
That's when NASCAR died. Because it was then when NASCAR started freaking...
we need to slow these cars down.
Exactly. When they started sticking their fingers and meddling in with the cars even more than they already did. You know what I mean? That's when when it became less about finding loopholes in the rules and things like that, and more about fitting in the freaking super tight little bubble.
Oh yeah.
Oh, somebody's in the holiday
Hey,
spirit. wait.
It's like we always say around the track.
Chris, hold on.
Why is racing better than any other sport? Because it requires 2 balls to get things done.
All right.
Yeah.
Cletus, pan down and show the front of your shirt. I think I have that exact shirt.
You do. I've seen it in your video.
Yeah. Yep. I thought so. I thought I recognized that. I got my hippity hoppity death is on its way shirt on today.
Need to get a stuff with Cletus shirt, man.
Yeah, I haven't found one in my inbox.
Ah.
Yeah, the IROC Series of Champions pilot is what Sean's referring to. If you go back, if you Google it on YouTube, you can find it. Basically,
he's the one that said it
NASCAR
first.
did a bunch of IROC Camaros
No.
and had the championship drivers run them.
He was asking, I think that was the IROC with all the questions. I think was what he was saying about the rule that was it
everything be identical.
Yeah, because he's saying IROC, like isn't that what that is?
Yeah.
And like I said, IROC was fun because you had race car drivers. The only reason that IROC was an interesting race to watch was because of the fact that you had all of these different drivers from different disciplines. You had IndyCar drivers, you had Formula One car drivers, you had dirt circle track
NASCAR drivers,
you had NASCAR
dirt cars.
You had all of these different drivers in all of these, and they were the best of the best of all of those series, all racing at once.
And they were like 6 to 8 races a year,
right? And if they would have ran that with all 43 drivers for it would get boring. I'm guarantee you. It would get boring. Because of the fact of all the cars being so identical. I mean, it's bad enough now. It's bad enough now with the drivers being able to build their own cars and tweak them just a little bit. And now it's just like, everybody is, all stuck together and nobody can make a move on anybody because nobody's got an advantage.
Oh yeah.
You just who doesn't?
It's kind of what the World of Outlaws is saying this year because Kyle Larson's winning all the races and taking the money out of their pockets.
Well, Kyle Larson. Yeah, well, you know what? Get better next year. It's what it's come down to is NASCAR and everything else. It's just like everything else. Everybody needs to go home with a fucking trophy. And that's bullshit. If you get your ass handed to you. Don't sit there and whine and cry about it. Do better next year. That's what you need to do. That's what NASCAR used to be. You got your ass handed to you week in and week out. Well, you went home and you thrashed on your car and you found that little extra bit of oomph somewhere, whether it was another extra freaking 7 feet of freaking fuel line or whatever happened to be your trick up your sleeve. You found that little extra freaking edge that somebody hasn't exploited yet, and you came back next week and you whooped butt.
I had that situation at a track one time. They come in and put up a $4,000 bond. He wanted to claim my engine. And I'm like, you mean take him? Nah, ain't gonna happen. Not happening. And the racetrack said, well, I got a better idea. Why don't we do an impound race? I'm like, what are you talking about? I said, we're both done for the night. We're not racing the next week. So why don't we do this? We'll take both our cars over. We'll give them to the track. They can lock them in their garage. They'll be locked up all week. We come back next week. You drive my car. I'll drive your car, and I'll still whoop your ass. Well, you can't do that. And the track owner looked at him and says, well, why not? You want to put up a bounty to claim his engine saying he's illegal? I said, that sounds like the fairest test to me. Yeah. If I'm cheating, then you're going to whoop my ass, right?
Well, yeah, but my only worry that would be is if he wrecked your car.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's what they said. You wreck his car, you're going to give him your car and the bounty. Yeah, that's what the track owner said. That's the only way we'll do it. And you sign a paperwork agreeing to that.
Yeah.
You wreck the car, you total the car, you give him your car, plus he gets the bounty if you whoops your ass.
All right.
It was the last night they raced.
So you know what else today marked the first time in a year. Today marked the first time in a year that I've been up to see any of my cars up at the shop.
Oh my gosh!
But I got a message the other day. I think it was Friday. Actually, it wasn't me that got the message. It was Jess that got the message from her grandparents, saying that the tarp had ripped on my TA, and excuse me. For those that know, the TA does not have a window in the driver's side right now. One of the last videos on the TA, I swapped out the door. Well, that door is empty.
Mm-hmm.
There's supposed to be a set of electric window motors going in it. Well, I never got the chance to restore the motors before putting them back in the car. So the window has not been in it, and neither has any of the interior door parts. I think the only thing that's in it is the door latch. I think that's what's in it because I can open up the door. And also you also got the issue with the hood scoop and the shaker and the fact that it's not attached to the carburetor. So I had to make sure that the water didn't get down inside the engine either.
Oh yeah, you don't want that.
Though I do have to tell you, I lifted up, I popped the hood because I was going to start it. The battery's dead, so there was no starting it. I leave it unplugged. I don't have it plugged in, but it still had died.
Well, it's probably a lot warmer when it was running last too than what it is now.
Yeah. It was about a year ago.
When you moved it out of the garage and parked it, you put the truck in.
Yeah, that carburetor looks ugly. It's all sort of tarnished and gross. It is. It's gross looking. That whole engine needs a detail. The chrome valve covers, everything. But so I had to go up there, recovered it. Also cleared the stuff away from the truck. A tree had fallen onto the side of the back side of the truck. Biggie, I could send you the pictures if you want to screen share for me. We were waiting for you.
Yeah, sure.
We were literally waiting for you.
Yeah, you know the sad part about this? Once you put them up, we may lose Pilot. He may have to go in there and talk to his wife.
Oh, about what?
The other pictures we were going to share, if you feel there's one that's capable of doing so. Yeah.
Biggie will have access to those too.
We may lose Pilot from the stream. He looks at those. If not, he'll be double fisting at least 2 ice houses, right?
Pretty much. By the way, I'm up to
real fun to do.
Go ahead.
I said they're real fun to do, but the contractual obligations that you have to meet sometimes are a real pain in the dick. And it's just one of them things where you're like, oh God, come on, can we live stream this? Come on. It's like, yeah, no, you cannot.
All right.
We will give you a picture if you want a picture. Ah, shit. All right, yeah, but
I'm up to 1,965 subscribers this week.
Sweet.
Nice.
45 to go until I reveal my big surprise.
Slow and steady.
Oh, jeez.
It's getting there.
Now, has said surprise been delivered and
no, hasn't even been ordered.
In possession yet?
Nope.
Not ordered yet. All right.
Nope. I have to repair my glasses before I'm allowed to order that, and I haven't gotten.
All right. That's right. I remember you saying something about that.
Yet.
It's probably more important. Yeah.
Yeah, being able to see.
Something. Pilot moved up to 3rd place. Why am I hearing trouble?
Sorry, I just opened up the live stream on my phone.
Oh, okay.
So I'll keep an eye on the chat.
Gotcha.
Yeah, mate.
So far, Pilot was the closest on where we are. Not where we're going, but where we were.
Okay, so should I give him the points for that?
Yeah, I suppose you give him some.
Okay,
yeah, he was the closest with the clues that we had.
Chris, how much do you think his answer is worth?
Oh, let's see. Should we consider the fact that he is a show regular every week?
No. You just need to consider how much.
Just consider it.
That particular question was worth.
I'd say consider side, 200, 250 points maybe.
Okay.
Because it could be a 2-part, because he could still win more if he could figure out the actual destination.
Okay,
I'm just trying to figure out I don't know what to give for a clue for the other area.
Okay, well, he's up to...
Actually, yes, I can. If anybody can remember what you said about when NASCAR died, that driver, I don't know if you want to how do you his domicile where he
Where he resided, where he grew up, where he's originally
Yeah,
from?
like where he's.
Yeah. Wasn't
know,
he was not. I do believe he wasn't from the South. Because wasn't he considered like a Yank, or like he didn't fit in with everyone else when he first started?
At one time, yeah, but then he moved down that way, and I think I know where he's at now because he was Awesome Bill from somewhere, and they gave his city and state.
I already know what it is. I'm not going to say it.
I have no idea.
That's our ultimate.
I know where Mark Martin was from. The only one I know is from is Mark Martin. That was easy for me.
Yeah, he's an easy one.
Well, that's because he was from not too far from where I am.
All right, Biggie has proof for what my guess was at, so that way if it comes up later, I'll have proof that I knew what it was before the answer was given.
Oh, he's right. I do.
Pilot got it.
Yep.
Look at him. He's begging for me to help him because he already knows.
He didn't need it. He got it.
He got it.
What are those points worth?
He got it. So.
Yeah. Well, Chris, what is that extra second part of the question worth?
If you want to do a full 500 for the whole thing,
all right,
I mean, your stream. But yes, we are way out of whack geographically. We are headed for Georgia, Hotlanta to be exact.
Ooh,
oh boy,
Atlanta.
All right, so that would make this.
I mean, I'm so far out of whack, even my road atlas is lost.
I used to fly into Atlanta when I went to Columbus. Atlanta is it's special.
Pilot's almost up to 27,000 points.
Gosh
Let him
dang.
go.
Well, it doesn't help the fact that I took advantage of the fact that you weren't here first thing.
Mm-hmm.
I gave everyone 10,000 points.
Oh.
Well.
So that kind of bumped them up a little bit. Hey, the only way I can get them to slightly catch up to you is either by them donating and kicking you off the stream boss.
Well, that's what they need to do then.
Or by awarding them large amounts of points when you're not here.
I think they should kick me off stream boss.
I think they should too, but that's my own personal opinion. I have a stake in that of them kicking you off. So.
Yeah, you got a dog in that hunt.
Showing his intelligence.
I has question.
May I have answer, sir?
I'm ready to screen share.
Okay,
I know it's not a question, but.
Well, you didn't pop it up. So I was waiting.
Now is Cletus in the live stream chat group?
No, he is not. There was a
not.
disagreement. There was a disagreement in the live stream chat at one point, and he decided that it was best if he removed himself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I filled him in on the important stuff in a second message. If I report something in there.
He hasn't seen the surprise from this week either. Then
no, he didn't see that either. All right. Yeah. Start with the truck ones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is the current state of my truck. This is when I walked up to it. The next picture is more shocking. That one doesn't look too bad. It just looks like it's stuck in the weeds.
Oh.
Yeah. Had a tree fall on it.
Yeah.
At least it wasn't a huge tree.
No, it didn't. It may have scratched the paint. I think that's about it.
Well, I know you were worried about that, but
that truck actually has some pretty decent paint on it. It would actually upset me if it ended up with a big scratch on the side of it. Because I wasn't planning on painting the whole truck. The only damage that I have to fix is below that body line, where it's silver.
Mm-hmm.
And I was planning on changing that silver anyway and rhino lining from the body line down.
Cool.
Inside and out, because I want to go mudding in that truck.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to pull everything out of it in line. No, that's the wrong picture. Go all the way to the other end.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start. Yeah, over that way. So this was the state of my TA when I came.
Yeah, it looks pretty bad.
That was double tarped.
Sure.
That was double tarped.
Considering the wind that was in that storm, that is very fortunate.
Yeah. That thing was double tarped all the way around. You can go to the next picture there. It's got a little bit more of an above view.
Yeah, when you showed me that earlier, I couldn't even make out what it was.
Yeah, it was a blue tarped car because, like I said, that shaker is just sitting on top of the car. There's no air cleaner. Nothing.
The shaker was the giveaway.
Yeah, you should know.
If you zoomed in on the picture,
if you knew anything about that shaker is definitely a giveaway.
I have never seen a real shaker hood in person.
Oh,
no shit.
Man, you're missing out.
I've seen some fake ones.
That is so shocking.
Yeah,
I know. I've seen a couple fake ones, but never a real one.
If you have an engine with a shit ton of power, with a TA with a shit ton of power with one of those hoods in, like the 301s and the 305s, and those engines, the shaker on those cars wasn't that impressive because there's not enough torque to move that engine in that engine bay. When you get the ones with a lot of torque and you get on that throttle, that whole shaker moves with the engine. So it literally just sits there and vibrates in the center.
Or the engine with the lumpy cam.
Yeah. But like that whole engine just sits there and vibrates in that hole. That shaker will literally move back and forth in that hole. And when you get on the throttle, the shaker moves to the one side as the engine is literally twisting in the chassis. It's addicting to drive the car and watch that. I mean, you don't notice it so much like standing outside the car, but when you're in the car and you see that shaker sticking up out of the hood and you burp the throttle and watch that shaker move in front of you. It's
more so if you have the functional flaps and you can hear the 4-barrel really in.
Yeah. Hey, I see Pete from Camaro Time is in here chilling with us today. He had a video the other day showing off all the intros that he's used throughout his YouTube career. I have to say I couldn't make up my mind Camaro Time. There were several of them in there that I liked. I think some of my favorite ones were the flybys, which I don't know if you had in that video. I don't think you did, or I might not have seen it. But the flybys you had of the of your Camaros on the street, those were some of my favorites. Then of course some of the edits that he did with like where he has words like appearing out of nowhere on the lift and stuff when he's bringing the lift. He had a car on the lift and he brought the lift down, and as he brought the lift down, the name of his channel appeared. What's funny?
Camaro Time's answer to your truck issue with all the brush.
I just need to get crotch high boots and get in there. Pretty much. I cleared the tree and everything away from it. I don't have a picture of it done after that. That was the last thing I did before I left. But if you go to the next picture, you can see after I had unwrapped the car. So she still looks pretty good. As you can see, there's no window.
Yeah.
Door's still not painted.
And there's primer.
Well, yeah, that's actually epoxy primer, so it won't rust. As long as I don't scratch that primer, it won't ever. It's not like the like high build primer that you used to use.
Mm-hmm. Oh hell!
Where it would rust within a year or two when you left it on it.
You missed the picture caption, Sean.
What?
The sexiest member of the live stream tonight, right across the top of that picture. Hello, Jean Grey.
Oh yeah, ha ha ha. She's actually always in the live stream. She's behind me almost always. Just back when she had better paint. I think the next couple are just shots of the car because I haven't seen it in a while. So I think the next one might be a hood shot.
Or I don't know. Okay.
Where you can see my ghost bird. You can't even see it in that picture. There's not enough contrast.
No, I mean you can kind of see like where it used to be.
Yeah, so it's called. I call it the ghost bird now because all you see is the cut difference in color paint where the bird was sitting on top of the paint and the paint wasn't it's a little darker. Mm-hmm. Rating cats and Fords here. That's right. You're down by Camaro Time, I think. There, Chris. I'm pretty sure he's down by there. Torque is best defined as that hard-on you have in the morning and you have to go piss and you bend it over until your heels lift off the floor. That's torque. That's hilarious.
Mm.
See, there's the good
Oh my
side.
God.
That's the side that still looks normal.
Hmm?
So that's the side that still looks normal.
Yeah, it's one continuous color.
Yeah, pretty much. Except for the hood. I never did paint the hood. The hood is exactly the way, minus the bird, the hood is exactly the way it was when I bought the car. I haven't touched it. The shaker's not original. The original shaker, I think I still have.
Mm-hmm.
Unless I gave it to you, Chris. I don't think I did. Pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't.
I think I still have the original 403 shaker.
Yeah, I believe you kept it. I don't remember you giving me the
But
shaker at all.
that gold shaker did not go to this car. In fact, that gold hood didn't go to this car. But that's another long story. Yeah, because technically that passenger side front fender is actually red. Same with the body, the flares on that side are also red. The front nose is gold. The hood is gold. The driver's side front fender is silver. Because this car was hit at one point. The whole back half of the car is black. If you were to go all the way back down to the original body color, it was a black car. So that's about all I know. I have no idea what color stickers were on this car when it was new. No idea. I don't have any record of that. It had stickers on it, but they were off of like a 76 or 77 because it had that that Old English font or whatever they used to use.
Mm-hmm.
Chris would know more than I do. It didn't have the 79 font. So obviously I knew they weren't original. Plus there was way too many stickers on the back end of that car for it to be original. Stickers that were supposed to go on the front fenders were on the back bumper. You know, it was bad.
Oh.
Yeah, Miss Foreman says German font. It had German font letters on it, which is not right for this year.
But it was still a running Trans Am, so I was like,
Why not?
Well, yeah, I didn't care. I wasn't about, all that stuff is cosmetic. At that point, I didn't even give a shit at that point that it was running because it didn't run when I bought it. I got it.
You just wanted it. That was the main thing, and you worked for a long time to get it.
Yeah, I just wanted it, and that is what it was. It was working a long time to get it. I tracked that car down for 3 years.
God
2.5 years. 2.5 years before the guy let it go. From the time that I found out about it.
Because he had to.
He didn't have to. I just caught him in a position where I had cash and
opportunistic moment.
You had cash and he had a need to get rid of it.
Well, he had a need for the cash, not a need to get rid of it.
Oh.
Yeah, if I had 80K, I'd be able to fix it myself. I had about 80K, I'd have a garage, I'd have parts, and yeah.
Fixed the way you want it.
Probably a lot more cars.
How much
or
does that
nicer
hood weigh?
ones.
That hood weighs about as much as any other classic classic hood weighs. It doesn't. I can pick it up by myself.
Depends if it's steel or fiberglass.
Oh, that's a steel hood.
Yeah, yours is, but like this Formulas, most of the Formulas came with a fiberglass hood.
The ones with the they were. No, you're right. They were fiberglass hoods because the guy that I bought the motor off of, he was repairing one. It was a hood where they had the fiberglass, the scoops, the twin scoops.
Yep.
And somebody cut a hole for a shaker.
Oh,
he had patched up.
Damn.
Yeah, he had patched up the hole in the center to make it look factory again.
Someone's a neat shot.
I hate it when they do that. I love the shaker. I love the.
Some things are cool, but some things are just sacrilegious.
Or just too much.
Don't screw with it.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's just too much. Like the hood scoops alone look cool on their own. The shaker looks cool on their own. You don't need both of them. Plus, obviously, if you're putting a shaker on that, you're completely defeating the purpose of the freaking hood scoops.
Yeah, I mean that's catamount to putting lingerie and high heels on a boar hog just because it has boobs.
All right.
It's not functional.
Yeah. In fact, actually, that hood weighs less than a factory freaking regular Firebird hood because it's missing that whole center that whole center piece. They don't even. They literally that's a stock Firebird hood, and they just cut a hole in it. They cut right through the cross member for the support beam. They cut right through all of it.
Oh my God.
Well, Scotty Kilmer says that year model Trans Am's no good anyway. So
I don't give a shit what he says anyway. I guarantee you.
he's
Guess what?
He's an idiot.
The 79 TA beat out every other muscle car out that year.
Yeah,
including the vet.
Except every single car.
Except for straight line, long distance speed.
No, I don't even think if they use the 400 TA, I doubt that.
Well, that's where the vet would beat it because the TA was geared to. It wouldn't stretch out far enough over the vet.
The TA was geared too low.
Yeah, it wasn't geared for it. Now, if you put which to me, when they do all that kind of shit, it's a BS test because unless the rear ends are set up with the same gearing in the rear end and the transmission, to me it's an inaccurate test because you don't have an accurate example of two cars together.
Yeah, because it depends. You could get those cars with several different gear sets.
Yeah.
Everything from a 410 to like a
320 was a 328, 327?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Well, with the vet, the way the engine sits so far back in the vet, and the weight sits almost, where the weight sits in that car, it really can't even burn out. It just takes off.
Do you know where the weight sits in those TAs?
No idea.
I went over this the other week. The engine in those TAs do not sit where any other engine in any other Firebird sits. That engine sits about an inch lower and about 2 inches further back than it does in a stock.
So like the Corvette then.
Yeah, that engine sits lower and further back than it does in any other F body. They have special motor mounts just for the Trans Ams.
Yeah, just ask Sean how well he knows that one.
Yeah, I drove all the way down to North Carolina, picked up the engine for this car with motor mounts that were supposed to fit it, got all the way back up, swapped the engines in the middle of frickin' Reading on a street, and couldn't get the engine to bolt into the car because the motor mounts weren't right. And then I ended up having to, was it somebody else? It was that you? No, it was somebody. Was that you or somebody else that I borrowed their motor mounts for like?
Yeah, it was Chris. What's his bucket from down there by Philly?
Yeah, I stole I didn't steal. I got permission to yoink the motor mounts out of his TA that was sitting in his driveway. He had a 79. No, he had a. Was it a 79?
His was an 80, wasn't it?
It was. I know it was a special edition. It was a legit special edition car.
Yeah, I think it was an 80.
Yeah, but he had a
79 or 80.
He had a 79 or 80 special edition car, full graphics package, shark tooth, houndstooth interior, the whole 9 yards. And literally jacked the motor up in his driveway. All 4 tires were flat. The car hasn't moved. I do believe it's moved now. But all 4 tires were flat. There was nothing but spiders and leaves and everything underneath the car. The car has been sitting there for a while. And so pull the motor mounts out, stick some pieces of 2x4 in between where the motor mount and the engine went to take up that space. And drove all the way back out to my house. Now that's a good hour and 30-minute drive one way. Just pull up to my house with the motor mounts after spending like 4 hours trying to get the motor mounts out of that guy's car. And the other thing is, if you don't know anything about Trans Am, there's like no space in them. There's not a whole lot of room in there to maneuver things. And so get all the way back out to my house in Reading. And there's a package on my front door from FedEx. It was the motor mounts that I had ordered on eBay for this car that didn't even say they were shipped. That's why I was like, that's why I had went all the way out to Philly to go grab that guy's motor mounts because I knew I could get them. And I had to get this car up and running and off the street before the cops told me that, that it had to move. Because, I kind of was doing something not so legal by doing a motor swap on a city street.
Is that illegal there?
Oh, hell yeah. You're not even allowed to change your brakes on a city street. You're not allowed to jack the car up off the ground. They got some really
stupid laws in the...
Yeah, you're not even allowed to jack the car up off the ground. Anything
they'll give you a ticket for jacking up, change flat tire.
Yeah, you're not even allowed to do that.
That's absurd.
Anything other than changing, than adding like windshield washer fluid or something, you're not allowed to change fluids. But if you need to like top off your windshield, you're allowed to do that. But anything that has to do with fluids or jacking the car up off the ground, you're not allowed to do.
Wow.
So pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Which nobody ever gave a shit because almost everybody on that street worked on their cars until the neighbor next to me decided to have a freaking issue and started
had to ruin it for everybody.
Yep, started calling the cops on me every time I even touched the hood of that car.
Yep.
Wow.
She saw the hood of that car come up. She called the cops. I had a cop there in 5 minutes. I even did that on purpose. The one day I went out there, popped the hood up, went up and sat on my freaking front porch. Just popped the hood and went up and sat on my porch and literally had a timer on my phone to see how long it was before a cop pulled up and asked me if I was working on the car. You know how long it was?
How long?
6 minutes.
Wow.
Oh my God.
6 minutes I had a cop sitting there. It was
because the hood of your car is open.
All I did was lift the hood up. I lift the hood up and went up right up here on the porch. That's all I've done. There's not even a tool in sight. There wasn't a tool bag. Nothing. There was nothing around. Just popped the hood. That was all I did.
Is it a pretty hefty ticket?
No, it was nothing. The cop laughed.
No, I mean, is it a ticket? If they
I never got a ticket for it. I don't know if there is one. I just, they would just tell me, all right, shut it down, whatever, and I would close up everywhere, go back to the side. 45 minutes later, I'd be back out finishing what I was doing. Just wait for the freaking, the heat to die down, kind of like a cool down on GTA.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they have any kind of laws like that around here. We don't even have inspections anymore since 1997.
That can be a good and a bad thing.
It's good for a lot of ways because here it was just a money grab.
Well, that's all it is up here too. I mean, it's a couple things. It's a money grab and making sure that unsafe vehicles stay off the highway.
Now we do have, we have state troopers, of course, but then we have highway patrol, and their job was mainly for trucks, but to pull over, check the maintenance on things. So yeah, if you get pulled over and your tires are bald or your windshield's cracked in your view, then yeah, you'll get in trouble. But there's no.
We're not allowed to have I have to replace the windshield in the TA because there's a crack going right up through the freaking center. We're not allowed to have a crack that's any more than 1/3 of the way from the passenger side over, and anything that's on the driver's side will immediately fail.
Really?
Nothing in path of the wiper.
And where I live, the only way you get a ticket or get in trouble is if the crack or more than one chip. You can have one chip, but you have 2 chips in the driver's square is what they call it. Pretty much the square where you're looking forward to where your head is. If you got a crack or more than one chip there, then they'll give you a ticket.
Nope, you're not allowed to have anything like Chris said within the path of the wiper.
Wow.
So I'll have to replace the windshield on the TA. But it needed it anyway. It was starting to delaminate in one of the corners. So
I got to check. Let me know when you're ready to do that, Sean. I think I have an extra one.
All right. I also got to freaking figure out how to put it in. I figured that when I'm going to do that, I'll probably at least address that rust in the bottom corner of the windshield. I might not remove it completely, but I might address it and put some Pour 15 on it and stuff.
Try to keep it from rusting more.
From spreading, because I don't plan, like, the sad thing is yeah, sure, I could fix that rust. But the whole point is I don't want this car to go down for its full restoration yet.
Right.
Because this car is together. I want to drive it.
Don't they rust there anyway, even if it's not in the rust belt?
Because the water comes down there and just sits there at the bottom corner of the windshield.
Yeah. So I used to have a 1980 Camaro, and I had to fix it right there. So
yeah, I mean, it's gonna take cutting all that out and rebuilding new stuff in. And like I said, I don't want to get that involved into that corner yet.
Yeah.
I know it's going to happen. The whole car is going to get pulled apart eventually. But I want to have some fun with it before that happens, and I want to do the Nova first, because if I'm gonna fuck up one, if something's not gonna come out right, honestly, I'd rather it be the Nova than the TA.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather get better at what I'm doing on the Nova than doing that with the TA first.
Well, at the end of the day, you could buy another Nova, donor Nova, for way cheaper than you could buy a 79 Trans Am.
Oh yeah,
and easier to find.
Oh yeah, the TAs are getting harder to find and they're getting more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I already paid. I will never find a TA in the condition that mine is in for the price that I paid for mine ever again. I only paid $2,500 for that car.
How much?
$2,500. $2,500 for that.
Yeah, you'd be lucky to find a $2,500 roller.
No. Now, granted, it didn't run when I got it, and it sat for 6 years, and it was all in black primer. It didn't look pretty. I mean, here I have a picture of what it looked like when I.
Hey! Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Well, to me, it was perfect.
Exactly. To those of us in the know, it's a beautiful gem, better than a diamond.
While you're doing that, I was looking at the Kia Soul today.
Yeah.
That radio is not going to be that hard.
What's a retrofit?
Yeah, to put it where it's a touchscreen double din radio, it's not going to be hard at all.
You're going to have to see how you do that then.
I will definitely make a video on it.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, it's going to be so easy, I'm going to let my daughter install it.
Damn.
No kidding.
Yeah. Well, it's her car now, so I'm making her do everything.
Oh, I would.
I did change her cabin air filter today, just because I had to figure out how to do it myself.
It's freaking super easy. Pull the glove box out.
It was really easy. It's just I didn't know there were 2 screws. There's 2 screws I didn't see or whatever, so
it's
the only trouble I had.
Video on it.
Holy shit! You could make out a new segment for tonight. What was in the trunk?
There you go.
And then share a couple pictures.
This is a picture of the car before I bought it. That I just sent to you.
Before.
So it was definitely before. Because I bought it in March? No, February. I bought that car. It was February 9th. No, February 12th. I bought that car February 12th of 2014.
Oh, wow. Had it for a little while now.
Mm-hmm. This is the first picture of the car I have after I bought it. Hold on. Vicky's not sharing yet, so.
With the exception of my 84 Jimmy, I have not had a car more than 1 year. Except, I did have a Ram for like 3 years, but besides that one, I forgot about that one. I'll just sell them too quick, buy a different one.
Yeah, I tend to hang on to my cars. God, I had a Motorola Droid Razor back then.
Sweet Jesus.
The Google actually tells me what took the picture.
Good phone for pictures.
Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. That one.
Did you share screen or no? There it is.
Yeah, I just did.
There, that was the picture of the car. When I went to go look at it over. I think that was before winter. That picture was taken.
Yeah, bird looks a little funny on there, doesn't it?
It's the right bird.
Is it?
Yeah. That
Okay.
bird belonged on that hood.
Yeah, but it did belong on that car.
No, it did actually, technically.
Oh, okay.
That's a 79 hood. That's a 79 bird. That bird is correct. Because I guarantee you that hood came off the same car that front nose came off of.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta admit, I'm still partial to mine. Sorry.
Yeah. Though the thing is that hood and that. Okay, so that first picture was taken December 17th.
This one.
Yeah. In fact, it was taken the same day that this picture was taken. Which is kind of funny because this one's got snow. But it was taken the same day.
Mm-hmm. Snow, no snow.
Oh,
Then there's this one.
My Nova liked the snow.
Snow.
But yeah, so the car was in primer when I bought it, and it didn't run.
Only 84 minutes to go before the purge sirens start blaring. If box store sales are any indication, this year may be bigger than ever. Guns, ammunition, and survival goods are flying off the shelves. It's an arms race.
Not me this time.
Somebody is watching like the air show or something.
Air show?
I don't know. I heard semi-automatic something. I heard Good to Fly. I heard something else. Hold on. Nope, not that one. Might have been. It was definitely Cletus because somebody's picking something up in the background. But yeah, you know, I definitely hounded him for like 2.5 years for that car. Got it running, drove it home, dropped the drive shaft the next day. Had to replace the freaking U-joint in the drive shaft in the snow because I dropped it. It dropped out of the car as I was leaving work the next day. I only lived like 3 minutes from work at that point, so I didn't really see that big of a deal traveling it, 3 minutes down the road and back. But dropped the drive shaft at work, leaving work. Had to replace the drive shaft, replace the U-joint and put the drive shaft back in on my lunch break at work the next day in the snow because it had snowed like freaking 1.5 feet that night. And of course, my car was covered in snow because because we only pushed it off to the side of the road, so all the plow trucks just buried it. So I had to dig it out. And we literally just digged out the back end of the car for enough for me to climb underneath the car to pull the drive shaft out to replace the U-joint. That was fun. Got a ticket for that too. Fought it and got it dropped because it was an emergency. I didn't just like leave it there because technically it was parked in a what is it, the emergency route where you're not supposed to park it. It went during a snowstorm, but it broke down there, so it wasn't my fault.
So if you have Elliot pull them out of the stream, if you can find someone, a great airbrusher, I think that one would look absolutely fantastic on the hood of one.
What? Did you share something or something?
Yeah, it's in the live stream, the live chat stream. If Elliot can pull it out, I'm trying to find the other one I'm looking for.
Yeah, that was nice, but it wouldn't be something I'd want on my hood of my car. I already know what I want to do with mine. I want to do the five color bluebird with the yellow pinstriping. It was a factory. It was a factory color. You normally found it on those lighter blue cars or black cars had it a lot of the times. Yeah, that's like me. I don't think there'd have to be a major reason for the TA or the Nova to ever leave my possession.
Yeah, no, I would sell any car I have out there right now if somebody had enough money.
Somebody gave me enough money for the truck, it would go.
Even my truck I gave to my son, my '84 Jimmy, I would sell that if it's enough money. Though it would take more money than the rest of them.
Yeah, I grant it. I guess if somebody gave me, nobody would offer me enough money for the Nova for me to let go of it. So I don't have to worry about that one. The
Wouldn't
TA,
be worth
I
it.
could see somebody offering me enough money that I could potentially want to get rid of it, but there's such a sentimental reason for having that car that it's not about the money for that one. It's like, Cletus, if you found your old Nova again, would you ever let it go again?
No, but it was my first car, so.
Exactly. And you got to think, granted, my Nova was not my first car. It was the first car that I chose to buy. My first car
I've had a lot of cars.
My first car was a 95 4-door Escort.
Oh.
LX? Yeah, it was an LX.
I only had my first car for like 4 months, so. And then I sold it and bought something else. In fact, I bought a 83 BMW 3 Series.
Pilot, what engine does that Cadillac have in it? It's got a 2014.
Should be the big V6. So.
By the way, I saw something today that made me change my my thought process on the engine in the Nova.
Oh.
I was sitting there waiting. I thought you were going to say thought process on electric cars, but
no,
nope.
no. Sorry, and that's an inevitable. At that point, that'll be none of those cars would ever have a spot that's like, I'm not getting rid of this thing. Those would just be, they're kind of like the Kia Souls. They're drivers. I'm not saying that they're completely useless or they're garbage. I'm just saying that the enthusiast side of me has no excitement about them. Yep, 3.6 V6. But I was watching a YouTube channel, and it was didn't they call it the Ugly Silverado or something, or the Big Ugly Truck or whatever? But it's a Chevy 1500. Originally had the 5.3 LS in it, and he dropped in an 8.1.
God dang.
Liter in it. Now, the only other thing that's an 8.1 or everywhere close that I know of is my Cadillac motor that I had, because that was an 8.3 liter. It's 500 cubic inches.
8.1 well, if it's a newer liter, engine, the newer Cadillacs are 6.2s.
This isn't a Caddy. This is a GM LS-ish platform engine. It came in the Chevy 2500s, the Silverado 2500s, and the Sierras. It was run from, I think, 2005 to 2014-ish. 8.1 liters factory fuel-injected engine.
That's what you need to put in the Nova, huh?
Is that the one they built to compete with the V10 the Fords had?
Well, V10 was what Dodge had. I don't know what Ford had a V10.
Ford had a V10, yeah.
Was that the Brighton or whatever?
In the 250s.
In their trucks.
In the 250s, if you didn't get a, well, I guess they still had the 5.4 in them, but you either had the 5.4, the V10, or the 7.3 liter, or no, excuse me, the 6.0 diesel.
Right. Well, this was an 8.1 gasoline engine. 8.1 liter gasoline engine. That's a monster. The problem is it doesn't share the same components as like the 6.0. 6.0 shares everything all the way down to like the 4.8 liter, all the way up to the 6.0. All share the same parts.
Yeah, same coil packs and everything.
Right. Now, the 8.1 liter does have the same coil packs, the same fuel injectors. That stuff is the same, but the engine is technically a big block. So it doesn't share things like intake, cylinder heads, things like that. So it's not like I could get the 8.1 liter and slap a supercharger off of, one of the other LS engines.
Yeah.
Which is, or I can't go off and grab the intake from Texas Speed that they just dropped. Because those are all designed for, like the small block LS engines.
Yeah.
So that would be a downfall with getting the. I mean, granted, it would be cool to put like, what is it, like 480 cubic inches or something like that.
494.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's almost.
It may as well be 500.
Yeah, it's just about 500. I mean, because that'd be freaking cool to slap on the side of the freaking. Because the Nova, you don't put how many liters a car is for a car that old. You put how many cubic inches it has. And
yeah.
GM fudged numbers all the freaking time to make it a number that was more, easily to say or easy to remember. I don't think a 350 was actually 350 cubic inches. There's several of them that are like that, where they're close, but they're not.
Or something.
Yeah, where they're close, but they're not a nice even round number to say.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I thought that might be another cool route because he paid $2,500 ish for a complete turnkey setup. So the wiring harness, engine with complete accessories, throttle pedal, everything.
Nice.
So everything, the computer, everything you need to plug and play that engine into any setup. He paid $2,500 for it. That's not that expensive. I mean, it's expensive, but it's not.
I mean, it's not cheap, but for an engine that big, you're not going to get anything
400 plus horsepower.
Mm-hmm.
In stock trim, that's a pretty nice number. I mean, I could get. I could probably get a van or, a bigger Chevy truck that had the LQ4 or the LQ9 in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd probably get a donor car for that, but I'm still going to probably pay $1,000 or something for that, and that's only 300 and some horsepower.
Yeah.
Now, but granted, I know I can make 600, 700, 800 horsepower out of an LQ9.
Just break down and put a 5.9 Cummins in it.
No.
Bigger turbos. Come on now.
No. I'm not looking to make, a bastardized freaking diesel out of my Nova. I don't want a bunch of fucking black soot all over the freaking place every time that I'm running around and shit.
If you do it right, there won't be any black soot.
I don't care. If I do it right, if it's not making black soot, then it ain't making power. No,
that's not true.
I know,
when the black soot comes out, it's overfueling. That means you got an injector problem. People like it. They call it rolling coal.
Yeah, I know.
That's a bad thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, I know you'll get a little bit of that when you're like pushing it down the drag strip and shit.
Yeah, depending. Well, that's what you're going to have oversized injectors and everything because you're going to be pushing, 1,000 to 1,200 horsepower. You're really cooking it at that point.
I don't want. It's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for diesel power out of this thing. The main goal of this is to make it look like a retro, early '80s drag car, but. Obviously.
See, you don't want to do diesel. You don't want to do electric. Come on, man.
I know what I want to do. I'm pushing it just going with a modern fuel injection engine. Because I'd be very much happy throwing a big block, old school, naturally aspirated, carbureted engine under that hood. Problem is with the way YouTube works, that's not going to get me views. So going to a modern fuel injection system. And the only other reason that it's winning me over, at least on that car, fuel mileage and horsepower.
Mm-hmm.
When you can get 700 horsepower and still get around 20 miles to the gallon, That's saying something. Obviously not while you're playing with it. So I probably would never get 20 miles to the gallon, but that's a different story.
Right. So what transmission would you go with?
4L80.
Probably whatever comes with the fucking engine.
Yeah, probably. It depends on what it is. I'm pretty sure that most of the LQ9s and stuff came with a 4L80.
Okay.
Pretty sure. I'd love to go with a manual 6-speed. Just for the whole, it's got to stick.
Sure.
Drivability, the automatic would be the better choice.
For sure.
For cruising and fun stuff, the automatic would be a better choice. For car enthusiast side of me, the manual is the better choice. But the thing is with when I first started going, going to go back all the way back to 2008, 2009, I wanted to stick the 6-speed. What is it? It's not a TKO. What is it? It's a lot of the Corvettes and the F bodies and stuff had them in the late 90s, early 2000s. It was a 6-speed manual, and then you could throw an overdrive unit in behind it. So basically, you have your 6 gears, and then you have an overdrive for every single one of them. So you're going down the highway, you can have a 410 rear gear, right?
Yeah.
For the fun on the drag strip. Going down the highway, you set it in 6 times overdrive, and you're sitting pretty low in the RPMs going 60, 70, 80 miles an hour down the highway. With a 410.
Was it the T56 you're thinking of?
I think it is the T56. Or it was a specific brand, though. I mean, they've ran them in everything from Jaguars to Corvettes to
Borg Warner.
No, it's not a Borg Warner.
Oh.
It was what was it? A lot of the race car teams use it too. Oh, we got Chris back. Welcome back, buddy. Oh God.
Welcome back to Peaches.
I absolutely have always loved the bird on the what were they? The 80 or 81 pace cars or whatever. The last
79.
The last picture you just sent.
Yeah, the one I shared.
With the big wings that swoop all the way down to the side of the car.
I'll admit, I'm partial. In my opinion, that's the best one they ever did.
I have to agree. Other than the what is it? The Fire Am. That special edition sticker that they had for these cars. I think it was a Fire Am. But they used it. It was it was off of a racing paint scheme.
Yeah, they've.
I'll see if I can find it. Yep, that's what it is. It is the Fire Am. It's definitely very 80s. I don't know. I always like the decal on that one.
Yeah, like I say, I'm partial to that bird in that car because I got one.
You're lucky because there's not very many of those.
79 10th anniversary.
And finding the interior for those is even freaking harder.
Yeah.
Because they had all special stitching and stuff.
And expensive.
Yeah, and to get it recreated. All right, let's see.
So you can have Elliot bring that one up if he hasn't already, if you want to. Because that one, I mean, actually, you've got your hood bird, and then they did the wing extensions off the end of the bird out into the fenders to the A-pillar, and at the A-pillar became a 3-colored pinstripe, and that pinstripe runs along the top of along the door and up over the roof behind the T-tops.
I think it was a Tremec. Might have been a Tremec. 6-speed manual transmission that they ran in the F bodies and stuff. Chris. The tough one, the one that they use for racing and stuff.
Okay.
Was it? I thought it was a TKO or... But it might be this Tremec one that I'm thinking of. Yeah, they used it in the Dodge Challenger, the Viper, the Camaro.
The TKO was a 5-speed, I believe. And then the actual Tremec was a 6.
Yeah,
the T56?
No, it'd be the TR660, it looks like. Yeah,
So
it was the upgraded version of it.
T56 Magnum?
Yeah, it's the upgraded version of the TKO. The TKO is a 5-speed. The Tremec used all of the popular features from the TKO and gave it an extra gear. The general ease of use as the Magnum. Original equipment form is the TR660. The Magnum is an aftermarket version of the same transmission found in many of today's most celebrated factory muscle cars. So yeah, it's the Tremec. So if I probably went with the manual transmission, it would probably be a Tremec with an overdrive. And the overdrive's electronic, so you just hit a button and it shifts it into overdrive. So
cool.
and because it's after the tail shaft, every gear can have an overdrive ratio applied to it. So you have first overdrive, second overdrive, third, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a great way to get your race car to be street mannered and have decent gas mileage, yet you have a beastly ass toy on the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're looking something like that to do with the street legal.
Yeah, I mean you can. You would probably go with a 4-speed manual for the race car, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm actually thinking maybe the 6-speed just because of the.
You know what you should do
to make it more streetable.
You should check out the ones that Cletus uses, because he has it in Leroy and he just put it in.
Ruby.
No, he didn't.
I know Ruby's a Glide.
Right.
Did they drop in their Camaro or what?
In the truck.
They dropped it in the race truck, in the Dale truck.
Oh, in the Dale truck. All right.
So the Dale truck now has that same transmission. The problem is the only thing that you might, but then again, it might go good with that car anyway because it's loud. It clanks into gear.
Oh yeah.
You get a solid thunk when you drop it into gear. The only time you don't hear that solid thunk is when he's shifting on the fly. So like as you're going down the strip, you don't hear it, but when you drop it from, into first, or like whatever gear, you hear, you can actually see the
vehicle rock.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
when it drops it in, it's funny because the first time he dropped it in, and you don't notice it as much in Leroy, but the first time he dropped it into gear in the Dale truck when he swapped it in. You not only could you audibly hear the ka-thunk as it dropped into gear, but you literally saw that same motion to go with that sound in the truck itself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was just brutal. You definitely have to feel that in the seat of your pants. I mean, the whole truck moved. And it didn't move because the gear lurched forward. It moved literally just because of the transmission sliding into gear.
Yeah, I know whatever we do is gonna be subject to the holes in the the existing.
It's sheet metal. You can cut it out and re-weld new shit in. I have to do that with the transmission tunnel on the Nova. Even the new one. We were sharing pictures. I don't know. Were you here still in the after show when I was going through the pictures of the Nova?
Yeah, last week.
Yeah, when I showed pictures of the new donut.
Hell, I think we talked for 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something you guys don't know. We have the 3 or 4 hour live stream here, and then we have anywhere from a half hour to another hour, 2 hours after live stream chit chat. But I was sharing pictures to Cletus because he hasn't seen my Nova from way back when. And one of them was a picture of the donor car's new transmission tunnel where it's all hacked up, where somebody ran a cable shifter down through the transmission tunnel. And so I'm gonna have to patch that up, and make a nice cleaner hole with a grommet. Because the black car doesn't look much better, because at that point I was young and stupid, and I put in a B&M Z-gate shifter in the Nova, and I did make a nicer hole, but it's not as nice as I probably could make today.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that was I cut an original hole for how big I thought it needed to be, and then after I installed it, I realized that it was not elongated enough to allow the cable to move freely, and so then I pried it up to take the tension off of the cable. I don't know where Cletus went.
Nope. The world may never know. Yeah, dropping like flies.
But yeah, so nope, there he is. He's back.
Yoy.
You're back.
Don't know what happened there.
No, he just poofed. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, Pilot, you're actually pretty right. It is like shifting into first in a Harley. The sound of that transmission. But yeah, so I have to repair some stuff on the Nova chassis, as Cletus saw last week. The donor chassis. But that's also partly why it's been sitting in the weeds and hasn't been gotten done, because I haven't had a place that I felt comfortable diving into that project, because that's going to be a long time. It's going to be up on jack stands or a rotisserie for a while.
Scary. I looked into the reproduction interior for my car.
Yeah. For
the seat covers and the door panels, it's around $2,800.
Yeah, they're expensive. I mean, even this is the reason why I went the route of wanting to make my own custom seat covers for my car. Even the stock Trans Am seat covers, just the regular plain Jane ones, are around like $300-400.
Damn.
And the foam is like $100 per seat.
Jesus.
To replace the foam. So yeah, TAs are not cheap. TAs are right up in there with like Dodge Challengers and Chargers and
Barracuda.
Chevelles. Chevelles are another expensive one. Cudas, that's just ungodly. Cudas and Chargers are just ungodly for the prices that they charge for parts. Even old used rusty stuff is expensive. Cletus looks very concentrating.
Sorry.
I'm just sitting there. Man, guys, we have 7 people in here and 2 likes. What gives?
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe Jester says maybe it's because I'm boring. Maybe you guys don't like me.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, guilt trip you all. But we actually, you know what? You have news, Cletus.
I do.
Yeah, you do. You won another YouTuber's giveaway.
I did. I won a Flowmaster muffler.
That's what is
nice. Gonna put that on the Kia.
That's what I told my daughter we should do. I told my daughter we should put it on the Kia. She said no.
Come on, at least try it.
No, it wouldn't sound right.
No, I'm not sure what I'll put it on, but I'll find something.
What about your truck?
I sold that. So.
Oh.
Which one? The Jimmy?
Yeah.
No, it's got some. I forget. They don't even make them anymore. They're like huge Flowmasters. It's stupid loud.
Mine is stupid loud. I have 44s on. My 44s are on the Trans Am right now, but they came off of the Nova. Yeah, I literally went underneath the Nova with a reciprocating saw and just hacked them right off the freaking Nova.
Well, I know you're not gonna like it, but the Jimmy also, we're gonna be taking that body off of that and putting it on a 2008-ish Duramax single cab.
Why wouldn't I like that?
I don't know. You don't like diesel, I guess, but
well, it's not that I don't like diesel. I'd love a diesel in my truck. I'd love to have a Cummins.
Just not in the car. I got you.
It's just I don't want a diesel in my Nova. I think that the Ford, what's that Ford that Cletus McFarlane has with the diesel on it?
No idea. I don't know what
is it a Galaxy?
Galaxy.
Yeah,
the Galaxy.
Yeah. That thing's freaking sweet.
I've seen people swap
the old Cummins in it. There's a diesel-powered Chevelle that I saw a YouTube video of that they had it at the drag strip. That thing was freaking badass. You know, it's not. I'm not against certain engine swaps. The one YouTuber that I watch, he has a Coyote motor in a fourth gen Trans Am. I mean, if I was going to get salty, that's where I would get salty. But no, it's still cool.
If he did it right, though, yeah,
it's
still
a
be
race
cool.
car. It's a race car, so it's not like it's a big deal. I mean, it wasn't a nice car when he got it. You know, it was a used, abused WS6 Trans Am that the original engine was gone. So there wasn't that whole, you know, at that point I get upset when you take a nice car and butcher it. If the car is already basically was destined for the scrapyard, then anything you do from then to keep it on the road and keep using it, you saved it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Jimmy's, it's all original. There's no rust on it, of course. It's Arkansas car. We're gonna update it. It's gonna have the old body, of course, but everything from the motor to the frame to the suspension, everything's gonna be new.
Not much different than what I want to do with the Nova. You know, I want to keep the old body, but basically everything underneath of it will be new. You know, I want to put a new front subframe under it with tubular control arms and that whole deal. The back half, I want to put a 4-link rear in it, and then obviously the new engine and the new engine and transmission.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably keep the 10-bolt limited slip diff in the back of it. But yeah, I mean the whole point is I want something that has today's power but with yesterday's look.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't really. It's not going to make my heart sing to lift the hood and see that ugly ass freaking modern engine in it.
You can make it look good.
I know.
Texas
Speed is. You can look at Texas Speed's engines. You know, they look freaking nice. It's not that but it's not. Mine's not going to look nice right away. There's no fucking way. I don't have the money.
What do they charge for theirs?
Huh? I think
Texas
their engines
Speed,
are like
what do they charge for theirs?
I think they're like $3,000.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
Not for all they do to them.
No, and it would be a 427 if I would end up getting one from them.
Because even if you get like a Jegs crate motor, you're still looking at what, 25?
Yeah, Jegs or Jasper.
Yeah, so if you get one that's
25 to 3.
If you get one that's built well, that's
motors,
great.
I think their smallest is $4,000. You know, it's basically a crate race engine, but you can still straight it.
All right, I might be a little wrong on that price. They're 427.
Street legal sprint car.
All right, hold on. Their turnkey 427 from Texas Speed is like 13,000.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
No, turnkey is 16,849.
Ouch.
For base without any options.
Wow.
So, oil pan kit.
That's with your computer and everything?
Huh? No. I doubt the computer. It's just a long block.
Carburetor.
Yeah.
No, it's no, fuel injected.
Say turnkey, then
it's a 421. It's a 427 LS.
Run it, wouldn't it?
It had to have some kind of computer if it's fuel injected and turnkey.
Yeah, they're probably expecting you to drop it in another. You're probably supposed to front drive accessory kit, intake manifold.
I mean, they probably say turnkey, ready to go, but
yeah, ready to.
We're
drop
not giving you a computer.
Yeah, you gotta. Race use engine not legal for road use.
Shh! Don't let Florida know.
Exactly.
I mean, like they would give a fuck anyway.
Florida wouldn't care. Shit.
All right, assembled engines. Engines built to suit. Chevy Performance Crate. Turnkey LS engine packages. LQ9 turnkey. LS1, LS3, LS7, LS9, LSA. How much is an LSA?
I was gonna say that's
probably a lot still.
19,000 or 20 for 19,000 for the 556 horsepower, 21,000 for the 700 horsepower.
You can buy an already built car for for that.
Mm-hmm. I could buy a Rex freaking Camaro with that engine already in it and have the whole wiring harness and everything already there for 20 grand.
That's still cheaper than a race engine for an open third late model.
Yeah, how much was the LQ9? The LQ9 was... Alright, LQ9 is... Looks max around 15,000 for 625 horsepower. Did you die? Jess just died. What got you?
Oh.
Which one? Well, obviously, you're in a game full of zombies. A bunch of them, or was it a horde night? You died on a non-horde night. Miss run around through the whole night, died on a non-horde night. Mickey.
Rip.
She died on a non-horde night by zombies. Let me guess, you went into a situation and didn't watch your back. Yeah, that's what I figured you did. So it's a 421 cubic inch, 625 horsepower LQ9. So everything but their turnkey is everything but the wiring harness and stuff. So everything from oil pound to valve covers and all of your front accessories. So I don't know.
Might be good. All depends on what you got to spend, I guess.
What is the difference between limited slip and posi traction? Well, posi traction is your one wheel peely. Pretty sure, right?
No, I think posi is a limited slip.
Because they didn't call the GM ones posi traction. I'm gonna look stupid here for now. I don't know all the different terms. I know I know they called the ones in the Trans Ams. They didn't call it posi traction. They called it limited slip. I shall Google it.
Alright, just Google posi traction and it just brings up limited slip differential.
Alright, well, I just looked it up. The limited slip differential is similar to a posi traction differential, but allows the wheels with traction to only have a limited amount of greater power than the wheel that is slipping. A limited slip differential will prevent the tire with less traction from separately spinning. So, a posi, yeah, that's exactly what that is. A posi traction, you'll get a one-wheel peel. Once that one tire breaks traction, it'll just spin. So that is a posi traction is an open diff.
Are you sure?
In a posi traction differential, the unit senses which wheel has the greater traction. When one tire is slipping or stuck, it sends the power to that wheel. The power to the other wheel continues until... Stupid ad. In a posi traction differential, the unit senses which wheel has the greatest traction. When one tire is slipping or stuck and sends power to that wheel, power to the other wheel continues until equal control is returned to both tires. Posi traction is beneficial for when road conditions are wet or muddy. The limited slip differential is similar to the posi traction differential, but allows the wheel with traction to have only a limited amount of greater power than the wheel that is slipping. This is beneficial on hard corner turning. A limited slip differential will prevent the tire with less traction from separately spinning. So it locks both tires together. Is basically what it's saying.
Well, I guess.
Don't get me lying. I have no idea.
And when you punch it and the lights on both up, you're in for one hell of a ride, especially if it's wet out.
Yeah, I used to have fun with that. That's what the TA does. When you punch it, it just will lock both tires together, and that's where you get the nice double line burnouts from.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't think you can get. Apparently, Miss Formie lost sound.
Oof.
Anybody else not hearing us?
I hear you fine.
Okay. Well, are you hearing us? Are you hearing me through?
Yeah,
that doesn't count. That's what you guys hear through StreamYard
is different than what you're going to hear through YouTube.
Because
well,
I'm going through something different. All right, so it might just be Miss Formie.
No, YouTube's here. It sounds fine.
Yeah, and Miss Formie agrees with me. She said that the limited slip is what they had in the Pontiacs. The GM ran a limited slip, which is it's when one of the tires started spinning, it would lock them together, and then they would both turn at basically the same rate.
Oh, that'd be a locking differential.
No, limited slip, because what happens is it will allow them to spin independently, but if the one tire starts spinning at a certain speed faster in ratio to the other one, it'll lock them. It'll allow them to spin differently, like going through corners and stuff.
Well, it depends on what kind of. Well, it's complicated.
Yeah, like I said, it will allow.
There's different kinds of limited slips, though. There's like
the one
like a clutch type limited slip, or I've been doing some more research. Apparently, all posi traction is there's, as far as I could tell from these, it's literally like spring pressure that's binding the two.
That's the one where you normally have that little Z clip in the middle.
Well, this doesn't have a little Z clip. It's literally got 4 springs.
No, it's just it's a Z clip with springs.
It don't look like a Z clip. It's like 2 plates with springs in between.
Yeah. I think posi traction, I think, is more of a race application or off-road application.
Well, I don't know. I've heard people say it. They have it like in their Camaros and stuff like that. So
yeah, maybe for drag racing.
I have no idea. Like I said,
yeah, most
no idea. There's a difference, but we can't figure it out.
What was that, Chris?
So most people in that application, especially in the dirt track, are running a straight spool.
All right.
If you're allowed.
A spool is a different type of locking rear, isn't it?
It's just a solid lock.
Spool is locked.
It's locked. Your axles slide into the spline center section, and your ring gear bolts directly to the spool, so it's a full lock all the time.
Oh, okay.
On a dirt track, good, because you're locked in the corner, but they suck for the street, because when you go on a corner, all you get the bird cage.
Yeah, you get hot. It's like running your 4-wheel drive.
Depending how you are.
Yeah, it's like running 4-wheel drive on a pavement.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not good for
only worse.
Yeah.
Not good for tires.
But that's the difference between the limited slip as far as that is concerned. The limited slip allows the outside tire to spin faster.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem, what happens is if that outside tire starts spinning a lot quicker than it should, it'll lock them both together to get that inside tire that has the grip to spin versus just allowing that outside tire to just have the ball. So yeah, that's just, I don't know. I guess posi traction is just a little bit different than that. I don't know. I think, didn't the Fords have posi traction?
I don't know. People probably referred to it as posi traction.
Yeah, I mean it's like Chrysler. They had one back in the 70s. It was a track lock or true lock or something like that. But
did the let's see. Can you state every 1960s manufacturer's name for a limited slip? Ford, Chrysler, Buick, Cadillac, Chrysler, AMC, Olds, and others had all different names for their differentials. We all know the ever-present posi terminology that generated from one of these companies, but do you know the others? There's a hardcore question. We think that it will take a real muscle car freak to whatever. American Motors called theirs the twin grip. Buick called it the positive traction. Cadillac called it the controlled differential. GMC called it the Chevrolet, and GMC called it posi traction. Chrysler called it sure grip. Dana called it the track lock or power lock. Ford called it the equal lock and traction lock. They don't have Pontiac in here for some. Oh, there's Pontiac. Pontiac called it the safety track, which I don't think that, because mine's labeled as limited slip. They didn't call it anything different than that.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Jeep called theirs.
Well, didn't it say 1960s manufacturers?
Yeah.
Well, it's probably referring to the 60s, not, the late 70s when your car was made.
Probably. Let's see, there's another one. Studebaker Packard called it the twin traction. AMG, no, they don't have that. See if I can find a different one. No, that's a great. Geez, I mean, just pilot just asked some weird ass freaking question. And now we're all going off on a tangent on it.
I know, right?
Would not happen on Salad Bar Show. Just saying.
It really makes you wonder which side of the ice house is he on when he comes up with these questions.
I don't know.
He's in the White House, probably.
I'm telling you. I almost think he starts in the afternoon watching football, so by the time we come on the air, he's lit and well on his way. The ship's on full float with winds of sail.
All those answers came from Wikipedia, because I just found that exact article where they copy and pasted the answers. Good for you. What time is it? It is 11. Oh, it's 2 hours down. Let's see. I think we all well, they were here for a little while ago. Let's see if we're still here.
I'm not sure I want to know the answer to that one.
Yeah, what did you get?
I'm not sure. I won something.
All right, everybody chatting in the chat here, they're gonna get, because let's see, 2,000 points to everybody that's sitting here.
Yay, points.
They should be applied. Pilot's second, because I don't count. I'm first. I don't count. My points don't count. But Pilot's sitting just around 29. Cletus
that should push me over 80,000, right?
No, because you didn't talk in the chat.
Oh, that's right. I just did.
Because it goes to all points to all viewers, and they'll only count to a viewer if you're talking in the chat.
Oh man,
you're at 79,680.
Yeah,
which I think that's right. Yeah. So yeah, it didn't give you the points.
Oof, that's messed up.
Miss Formy's at 18,295. Lovely bunch of coconuts is at 8,332.
Bringing up the rear.
I'm skipping a bunch of guys that don't show up every week.
Points.
I mean, there's. I know. Did I miss when? I must have missed when Maritime left.
Yeah, I don't think he said anything. I think he just dropped out.
Yeah, he stopped talking back when we were talking about taking my car to the Transient Depot. I mean, it'd be nice to take my car there, but no, it'd never happen. How is Old Car Auto Guy all the way up here with he doesn't come in that often.
Must gave you some kind of donation.
Probably donations. Because I mean, you look at it. It says he's been here for 0.67 hours. Big E, it has him here at 2 hours, which is funny because it has Big E here only 2 hours. He's here every week. We just don't talk.
Yeah.
All right. So if I go by this and we go by hours watched.
So if you don't talk, it doesn't count.
No, and Pilot's always talking. Pilot's at it counts active viewers.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to talk every couple of minutes or send a message. Pilot's at 29.33 hours since I reset it. Formy's at 21 hours. Grimm's Auto Service is next at 8 hours. Stuff with Cletus is at 7.8. Get this one. Okay. This should show you. It has me at 5 hours. This live stream doesn't happen without me.
Yeah.
Because I'm the one that has to hit the go live button. Firebird Nation at 4.5 hours. And that's the same thing, because like Chris is never here without Miss Formy.
Right.
So they would be somewhere near the same, but Chris never talks because he's busy driving. Well, he talks. We don't have to talk and chat. We talk up on the screen.
But I guess that doesn't count, huh?
Yeah. Michigan Mechanic is 3.17. I haven't seen him in a while. Mr. John 613 Hammer and Wrench. He is at 2.5. Grant is at 2.5. From Straight Six Fan. Matt MPG at 2. Nikolai is at 1.92, which, by the way, he did get that Crown Vic. I don't know if you guys saw that. He was looking at trying to get a Crown Vic. He ended up getting it, so that's his first car.
Good for him.
Cool.
Late 90s, early 2000 Crown Vic generation.
Pretty good car. It's a pretty solid car.
Yeah, the cop car version. His isn't a cop car. His is more of a flashy than the cop car.
Grandpa.
Yeah, grandpa look.
He just needs to jack it up and throw some 32-inch rims on it.
Oh my god!
Like
people that get freaking no. Yeah, do you know what? No, that would piss me off. I mean, each to their own. Everybody has the ability to do what they want. There is a YouTube channel that I was following because he bought his girlfriend a classic Chevelle. Not like the 70, 72 Chevelle, but like a little later than that one. I think it was a little later. It's either a little later or a little earlier, but it's not the classic Coke body Chevelle. But I started watching because of that, But I mean, right now he's doing it a donk, and it's like, nope, I have no desire to watch that. He has every right, to do what he wants and to enjoy his car as he wants to. It doesn't mean I have to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You want to do that on your Kia Soul.
Oh my god,
that would be a cool dog.
It would fall over. It's already top heavy.
I'll tell you, the way the windshield is built, they are not good on gas.
Mine gets 29 to 30 miles to the gallon.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I'd be lucky if that one out there. I'll be lucky if that one out there, even on cruise control, gets 20, 22.
Don't use cruise control.
What engine is in it? What year is it?
It's a 2010.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing as the 2011, the gray one, which that one has the 1.9 or 1.8 liter or whatever in it, and it's got the 4-speed automatic, and it gets 29 miles to the gallon. So I would suggest, and this is something that I had to do, change the spark plugs in that car.
Well, I've got to change. I've already got we made a list today. Spark plugs, wires, the tires. It's got all kind of stuff.
Change the spark plugs and make sure there's no drag anywhere, as far as like in the drivetrain, like the wheels, wheel bearings, stuff like that. That car on the highway should get 29 to 30 miles to the gallon.
Well, let's pull it up on here. Yeah, it says between 26 and 31. So
yeah, my car both of our Kias get above 27 miles to the gallon.
Legal.
Unless I'm like the green car can sometimes get a little less, but that's because I get on that car and I because it's more fun to drive.
Looks like the base model gets a little bit better.
Well, yeah.
It's got a 1.8 liter, not the 2.0.
I've got the exclamation point model, which engine does I have? It has 2.0. Yeah.
2.0 should get around 27 to 28.
142 horsepower. Boy, it's cooking.
Yeah, that thing is a little. We have the plus. The green one is a plus. The gray one is a base model.
Well, the one out there is, and it is the exclamation point. So you name it, it has it.
Yeah, our green one is
whatever option it could have, it got it.
Right, the green one is fully loaded. I don't know what the difference is between the plus and the exclamation point. I don't know what the difference is between the two of them.
I don't know. I'd have to go back and look, but I think it's the two-tone seats, like not just two-tone, but the extra. It has like a design in the seats and stuff, and it's two-tone and all that.
Ours is two-toned. The green one is two-toned.
Does it have the checkers and all that in the seat?
It has. I think it has
the lighted speakers and all that stuff.
Both our base model has lighted speakers.
It has lighted, so they all have that.
Yeah, they all have that. The green one definitely has an upgraded fabric for the seats. I want to say it doesn't say checkerboard. I think it actually says something. I have to go back and check. It might be checkerboard, and I might just be, Mandela affecting myself.
Well, I know this one has a subwoofer in the back too.
This one has a I think this one has a sub, but I think they all came with those.
Maybe there's no difference in.
I know that the engine, the transmission were different in the upgraded models. The suspension is definitely different between the gray one and the green one. The green one has a lot softer ride to it. The steering is a lot easier. It's like you don't have to take as much force to turn the wheel on the green one.
Yeah.
And the braking is different on the two of them as well. The gray one you have to get on the brakes a lot harder, as well as the green one is just you can over brake the green one pretty easy.
The only difference is the difference in colors. I could tell.
Well, I guarantee you between the plus and the exclamation point, or between the base model and those.
The plus and exclamation point.
Yeah, mine might not be two-tone, but there definitely is two fabrics. The bolsters are different color. It is a different fabric than the insides.
But
it's not like a light and dark color or something like that. It's a
$2,000 difference. I'll tell you that.
Damn.
I don't know. I know that the green car is fully loaded for a plus. I don't know what extra options come on the exclamation point versus the plus. And we're talking about little 4-banger beaters here.
Right?
Yeah.
And they're actually pretty cool cars.
They are.
You know, I thought I didn't
absolutely. Like I'm going to tell you flat out. I absolutely hated the Kia when I first met Jess.
Mm-hmm.
The green one, I absolutely hated it. But I hated it less when we got a hold of the gray one. When we got a hold of the gray Kia, the difference between the gray Kia and the green Kia are night and day. Like if you never drove the green one,
yeah,
and you only drove the gray, you would think that Kia Souls just sucked.
What year is the gray one?
2011. It's
and
only
what year is the green
It's
one?
1 year older. The green one's a 2012. There's
in 2013. It says they went to 162 horsepower. So
damn, cooking with gas now.
They're really cooking there.
They're zippy. They're very zippy, especially on the back roads, and especially if you throw it in the selected gear, or whatever the Kia called it. But where you can manually shift it, automatically shift it, or whatever.
Right.
The motive
steroids.
They're really fun in the corners when you get to do that because you don't have to wait for the transmission to pick what gear you're going to be in coming out of the corner. You just drop it into whatever gear. I mean, if you let the gear rev out too high, it'll shift it up. And if you let the gear drop down, if you let the RPMs drop too low, it'll downshift for you. But if you're within RPM range, you can shift it to where you want to. You can use it to slow down going into a corner or to pick your RPM coming out of the corner by what gear you're in. It's fun on a back road. It's not as sporty as my Trans Am, but it's fun for what it is.
Naturally.
No, the thing would probably outrun the TA because TA's heavy.
So the difference between the base model and the plus and all the other models is the base model is 122 horsepower, and all the other trims are 142 horsepower.
The other thing is you got a 4-speed transmission versus a 6-speed.
Exactly.
And that's a big difference.
Even it says in the 2010, it says it's a 5-speed transmission.
The 2011 is a 4-speed.
I'll be.
Maybe the 2000 and maybe it's a 5-speed, not a 6-speed in the green car. It might be a 5-speed, but the transmissions definitely make up more of a difference than the horsepower.
Because, I can see
that. When you get up to about 70 or 80 in Mexico, the gray car literally it does not want to go much faster than that. It runs out of steam. You can get it to go up above 100, but you're beating on it pretty hard to get it up there. Whereas the green car, you don't even realize you're going that fast, except for the scary wind on that big square body.
Okay, you can get it with the 4-speed automatic. It's if you bought the 5-speed. Okay, there it is. Finally, the difference between the plus and the exclamation point is the 4-speed or the 5-speed.
Ow.
So what? The exclamation point is a 4-speed?
Is a 5-speed. The plus is a 4-speed.
Not in. Then I don't know what we have because we have the green car is a 2012 Kia Soul Plus.
So it's an alien.
With the 2.0. It's an alien green. It's got the 2.0 4-cylinder with. I don't know if it's a 5 or a 6-speed. I can't remember right now, but I know it's more than 4. The 2011.
Let me look up 2012.
The 2011 is a base model with the 1.8 or 9 liter, whatever one it is, and it has a 4-speed automatic. I know that one's got a 4-speed.
Yeah, 2012 is a 6-speed. Yeah,
that's what I said. I thought it was a 6.
Even the base model is 6-speed in 2012. So
okay, well I don't know.
And they have 164 horsepower. The base model has 138.
Oh, I know that the 2012 it gets up and goes.
Well, it has 164 horsepower, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
so it's pretty good.
It's pretty good
for a little
light
car.
That car is.
Yeah,
and with a 6-speed automatic transmission. So like I said, it gets up and goes.
And I don't see any difference between. Oh, It has a $900 between the plus and the exclamation point. It has a $900 audio upgrade package.
So that's where your subwoofer comes from.
So if it has the Infinity audio system, it's the exclamation point. If it's the plus, it has the UVO infotainment center.
And that thing sucks.
So you have the plus in, so it sucks.
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, it was great when it was working.
Sure.
But almost every single one that I've seen, I mean, that's the biggest thing that I see when I look up those, is there's something internal that just kicks the bucket. Everything works on it, but no sound comes out of it, and you lose the rear view camera.
Yep.
So, like, all the buttons, it changes radio stations, but there's literally, it's mute. There's no sound. The other thing that happens is the clock resets itself, like, all the time. You can't set the clock in that car because it won't stay.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the difference is 6 speakers and 8 speakers, and then one has an amp and one doesn't.
All right.
And then one has the screen. So
we have the touch screen in the green car.
Yeah. Anyway, probably enough about Kia Souls, but
yeah.
Like I said, they're pretty cool cars.
I can skip turning on the phone's hotspot and miss what's going on. Oh, wait. I got gas in September sometime. I don't drive much. Pilot's always got 55 subs. You're popular, but you don't even have to produce content. That's what it is.
Guess so. I don't know. It seems like I've been working real hard for my subs.
Me too. I mean, not really, but yes. I do this live stream every Sunday. That's pretty much as... I mean, I was going to film yesterday when I worked on my mom's car, but I got there and, like, literally, I couldn't think of anything to start an intro. There wasn't going to be a conclusion.
Seriously, asshole?
Oh, I'm sorry for offending you, Chris.
That could have been
monetization.
That could have been your intro right there.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, it's like, I wasn't filming in a location that I'm familiar with. I knew that there wasn't going to be, like, you have to tell a story. There wasn't going to be a story.
You had the tree on your car.
That was today.
On the truck. So, I thought that's what.
No,
well, you could do that for video.
Yesterday, when I went to my mom's, my mom's mother-in-law to work on my mom's truck. She has a 90.
The exploder, right?
Flashing your high beams, dickhead, and you're gonna eat the guardrail.
I'm gonna mute you, Chris.
I'll mute myself.
No, you're fine. But
you could have made a video today.
I was
just like a channel update,
Well, the thing is we went up to the Walmart at like 5 p.m. tonight, and it was getting dark. I mean, you can't really tell in that picture because the Samsung takes pretty good pictures in the dark, but it was dark. And I literally was just trying to get the car unwrapped, check it, make sure there was no water damage inside the car anywhere, and get it re-wrapped up because I had Jess and Luca in the car waiting. So it wasn't like I couldn't sit down and, I couldn't sit down and make a nice, because to make a 10-minute video or even a couple-minute video, you need a good bit of footage to cut.
Well, and I guess truthfully, you didn't have any real updates except for the tree falling in the.
Well, and it wasn't even like the whole. It was like a big branch.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah, there wasn't enough of it. I had planned on going up there and actually doing I haven't been up here for a while video, and then the tarp ripped, so I had to go up there a lot sooner. I was going to go up there this weekend, but I ended up having to go work. My mom called me up earlier this week and said, "Hey, I need you to come and help Rick get this transmission and transfer case up in the truck because he can't do it." And so, like, I was going to film there, but like I said, there wouldn't be any story.
Well, and it takes so much longer to do it and film it.
Exactly, and it wasn't on my time. I mean, it was my time, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
I didn't want to have to come back down. And the other thing is I had my GoPro, I had my knockoff GoPro, I had all the batteries charged, I had all the phones and everything with me. I got there, then I remembered that I don't have any of my cell phone holders because I've only found one that works really well. The problem is that it uses plastic that's very, very brittle. So if you have it on your tripod, right? I normally always take, like, you mount it to my tripod has a detachable mount that you bolt the camera to.
Yep.
And I normally I put it on one of those, and I normally always remember to take that detachable part off whenever I store the tripod because those pieces are so brittle. But I ended up having it downstairs for something. I think we were using it to film a party or something. Maybe it was Christmas. I think we might have been filming Christmas. I don't know. And I had set it up against the wall, just folded the legs up and put it over in a corner. Well, one of the cats or something walked by and knocked the tripod over. And as soon as the tripod hit the ground, it shattered the cell phone thing.
Damn.
And it shatters it right at the base, right where it connects to the...
I haven't had that problem yet. I bought mine off of Amazon.
Have?
It's a little cheapo. I don't know.
A
little cheapo off Amazon. It was $27 for that and the tripod together.
Yeah, I don't think we even paid that. But I found that I really like this one because I can easily swap out the phones.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to crank anything down. It's just a spring loaded, so you just pull it up.
Yeah, that's what mine is.
Hold on. But
the only reason it costs so much is because it also has a Bluetooth where I could start and stop the video.
I think these ones didn't come with that. Cell phone.
But it's not brittle at all. It's got a metal.
I might have you send me the link to the... I don't want the whole thing, just the...
Yeah. I'm sure you could buy just the thing.
I think this is the one that you have. I don't know. Does it have a screw to tighten it down, or is it spring-loaded?
It's spring-loaded. I can go back to my purchases and look real quick. And send it to you, and you'll know.
And the ones that we get are like $10 because I just found one. I'll come on, take the damn freaking screenshot. There we go. I will send it to you real quick. Show you the one that we normally get. It's not... A bunch of different brands sell it.
That kind of looks like the one I have.
It's got a little rubber piece that you can slide out of the metal thing up on the top. Because I have a couple of those rubber pieces floating around. Because they like to slide out when you're trying to do shit. And they end up freaking trying to find it on the floor. Oh. What would need editing? I'm so lost with chat, guys.
I think he was talking about when you were taking videos up there.
Yeah.
Or
I took some video footage because I'll probably use it later. But there was no sense filming an actual full episode while I was up there.
No.
Oh, here we go.
What, would you send it to me or will you send it?
I'm about to send it to you.
It was
$21. It was $21 and there's the discount you get. So.
All right. Well, I think it's time, unless everybody is empty, because it is an hour, 2.5 hours into the show. What's in the cup? Chris, should we start with you today?
Water and water.
You got water and water. Well, you're boring today.
No tea?
Vitamin. Nope, I already killed the tea. We had tea when the show started, but it is done long gone. Now we got that vitamin water and plain water.
I've already drank all mine. I had water, and I also had a Mike's Hard Lemonade that somebody left in our refrigerator.
Hey,
so I drank it. Yeah, it was.
Great drinks for best drinks.
Yeah.
All right, what do you got?
I'm gonna start claiming Ice House because I think it's imperative and only fair that Pilot drinks at least I'm gonna go for everybody. Everybody gets an ice house because it's imperative to the pilot, since he's here every week and has such good comments. He's obligated to drink one bottle for each of us. I think that's only fair.
As long as I don't have to drink it.
That bad?
No idea.
I don't think I've ever had an ice house.
I don't think I have either, but it sounds like a light colored beer and not really normal.
Sounds like a White Claw or
I don't know.
Something like that.
It's not that bad, actually.
Is it a light beer?
Not really.
Kind of like a Heineken or something.
What would you compare it to?
It's stronger than Heineken.
What would you compare it to?
I not quite as strong as like a Sam Adams Boston Lager.
Really? All right. Well, maybe we'll have to try one.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. So if I go out and buy a case of Ice House, Pilot has to buy a shirt off my Teespring.
Let's put it this way: you buy a case of Ice House and you don't like it, I'll pay you for it and come pick it up.
That's not
5% alcohol.
No. That's not what I said. I said if I buy a case of Ice House, whether I like it or not, Pilot has to buy something off my freaking. Hey, there you go. Speaking of, there's my Teespring link right there. Thank you, Streamlabs. You come in handy sometimes.
Sometimes.
And it's only 5.5% alcohol?
That's a Mike's Hard Lemonade. That's a Zima.
Yeah. Wow. I could be drinking all freaking night.
You'd be getting sick from all the sugar. Well, it's supposed to be a beer, though, so maybe not.
Okay, anyway, so...
they don't even make Zima anymore, do they?
We missed
I think so.
We missed Biggie's what's in his cup.
I got some high quality air because I'm empty.
You're only empty.
Well, yeah. You're the one doing what's in the cup 2.5 hours into the live stream.
Oh, I'm not empty. I've been through one already, but I'm not empty.
You still drinking that light beer?
I have no idea what I'm drinking. You have to guess. Here.
It was either a cider or a light colored beer.
There you go.
I would say a cider of some sort then.
I'd be more specific.
Angry Orchard?
No. Biggie gets it.
Yeah.
It's the last two. It is my last. It is my last two out of a half a case.
God damn.
That when I started drinking the cider, like a couple live streams ago, when I went from the Yingling to the cider, that's how long that case has lasted me.
Damn.
Because I've been drinking other stuff too. I had the oh, come on, brain. Irish beer, come on. Yeah, brain doesn't work.
Guinness?
Yeah, Guinness. That's it. You can thank ADD. ADD is freaking horrible. Whenever you want to think of something, you can never think of it. And then the second you
I'm rushing off the road, you crackhead.
Would you stop talking about my mother like that?
The road rage is real.
Must be getting close to Atlanta.
Where are you at?
Well, they're just
Chris?
morons. I mean, the first crackhead, 3-lane interstate, and he comes up behind me in the center lane, he starts ducking out and flashing his high beams on and off.
Oh,
the left lane's totally open. Go around me. This idiot's coming up and get on ramp, and he runs clean up. I got two vehicles beside me. I can't get over at all. And he runs clean to the shoulder of the interstate beside the trailer. I'm like, I'm not moving. You got two choices. You can hit the brakes or hit the trailer. It's your choice. But you're about to run out of room because there's a guardrail coming up.
Dumbass. There you go. Chris, I need your first impressions on this, okay? So, dude, this is something I ran into YouTube. Okay, I found this on YouTube. There's a dude, and he's in a little tiny white car. He's following behind a semi, and I guess he missed his turn because there's an off ramp right there. Stops in the middle of a 3-lane highway in the middle lane because he wants to cut over to the off ramp. Now he's parallel with the bottom of the off ramp. In the second lane over, stopped. Like he's not even like coasting, he's stopped. Tractor trailer comes up behind him, jukes to the right to go into the lane to the right of him.
Yeah.
Which of course upset whatever the load he was carrying. Ends up tipping the truck over sideways. It wasn't like a 50. It wasn't like a 53 footer. It might have been
48.
No, because it wasn't a tractor trailer. It was just a long
Box truck.
big. But it wasn't
Straight truck.
It wasn't necessarily a box truck because it didn't have like when it fell over, you could see that everything that was in it just came out the side of it. So it had to have been like I don't know. It looked like it was a bunch of cases. Yeah, it looked like it had a bunch of soda or something that was in it. That's what it looked like.
Oh, okay. With the roll-up doors.
But it didn't have roll-up doors. It was more like a curtain side. But it was a single frame truck. It didn't have a trailer. But you definitely see that truck when he juked. The front half stayed where it was. The back half decided to twist, and then it pulled the whole truck over. And then the next truck that came up behind it was a tractor and trailer. It jackknifed. Just barely missed crushing this car between the bottom of the concrete barrier for the ramp and the jackknife trailer. And then the car just scoots up the freaking off ramp like nothing ever fucking happened. Meanwhile, the freaking there's obviously a truck carrying whatever load it was on its side just off a camera. And then there's the jackknifed tractor and trailer sitting right at the bottom of the off ramp. And
that's crazy.
You could tell I think it punctured one of its gas tanks on the side because there was fluid dumping out all out from underneath of that truck, and I don't think it was from whatever he had in the trailer because it was coming.
Hopefully he had a dash cam.
I don't know, but it's just this was caught off of I guess a bridge cam. Because it looked like it was on the overpass, looking down on the road. But yeah, I mean, I said to Jess, I turned around and said, damn, if I was the people in that freaking jackknife truck, I'd be getting out and beating the snot out of that freaking dude in the car.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was just stupid. You just caused two big rigs to freaking lose control and crash. And obviously, they're not just getting up and driving away. The one definitely had a punctured something, and the other one's on its side.
Yeah.
They're not going anywhere. And you just leave. Leave like nothing happened. Like
happens every day.
I know.
May not necessarily stop, but usually they're shooting from the far left lane or the center lane. They shoot for an exit because they're in
I'll just go up to the next
hurry
exit
to get
and turn around. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. But
they're not that intelligent. That's like the fools that turn around in the emergency
what I'm
vehicle,
saying is the fact that
and just pull out in the left lane.
Even regardless, just the fact that the dude just freaking like he knew. I mean, he was stopped with that tractor trailer less than a half a foot from his freaking passenger side door. You know what I mean? He had to have been pissing himself.
Mm-hmm.
And because he almost became, the fluff in the fluffernutter sandwich squeezing out the side of the freaking bread.
He was almost rabbit pellets.
Yeah, and then he just
not counting the ones he.
You know what I mean? So
his seat digested.
It's not like he cut off and didn't realize that he caused an accident. He saw the freaking the one semi truck flip over sideways right in front of his nose, and then the other truck ended up less than a half a foot from his passenger side door as he crept across the first lane to get to the off ramp. So it's like it's not like he didn't know he caused both of those tractor trailers to both of those trucks to freaking wreck, and then he just scoots up the ramp like nothing fucking happened. Like, really?
I'll be right back.
All right, see you later. Chris, why can't semi-trucks drive away when they are jackknifed? That's a good question, Chris. I mean, besides the obvious, I think this one, the tractor, I think the trailer punctured his gas tank on that one.
Most times they get tight because a lot of times when you're jacking around, it'll actually set the fifth wheel plate that's on the bottom of the trailer on top of the drive tire, and it locks it in place.
Right. I'm sure it does all kinds of freaking damage. That's a lot of weight to be sliding sideways.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, you twist the frame up. I mean, you screw the axle, but normally it's because it gets tight and it won't pull its own ass out of its way once it comes around that far. Yeah. And then when it jams up, normally because the cabs in that are made out of aluminum, it usually runs the crunches the cab, and you'll catch like supports, the framework and support of the cab, whatever, underneath the trailer, and you can't pull out of it that way.
Yeah, like I said, I think this one it punctured. The only thing I can think of is that it punctured a fuel cell.
Yeah, probably the fuel tank, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure the trailer caught the
knock on a huge chunk of road. 30 plus years out here. I've never laid one down, and I've never jackknifed.
Cletus says that the fifth wheel jaws.
Yeah, the fifth wheel plate.
Yeah.
And then in the jaws. Because it comes around and locks everything. It's like getting a car, a four-wheel drive. If you have to run around and you get it high centered or tight, you're stuck.
Yeah, it's just all bound up.
And then the other side effect is normally when you jackknife, the road conditions are already crap to begin with, so you can't get no traction to do anything you wanted to.
Yeah, I think this guy I guarantee you that the one that the example that I was telling you, I guarantee you he jackknifed that on purpose to fucking slow that truck down. Because he didn't.
Oh yeah, probably.
Because he would have just went right through that car.
And
he would have erased it.
The sad thing is, even though the asshole caused the accident because he stopped in the middle of the interstate, had either of them trucks hitting him from behind, it would have been their fault.
Yeah, especially in Pennsylvania, because it's PA state laws. The at-fault driver is the follower because you're supposed to be giving yourself a nice following distance. There's no way you're going to stop a big rig from 65 miles an hour down to 0 from the time he realized that white car was not fucking moving.
No way.
There's no way, because I can tell you where he saw that freaking car, because I can tell you when he reacted. And I don't think that I would have been able to tell that car was stopped much further back. Because he didn't have his brake lights on. You know what I mean? So you're not going to assume that somebody stopped. A single car is stopped in the middle of a 3-lane highway.
Yeah.
It's just not something you're thinking of. It's going to take a minute for your brain to process it. That car's not moving. And you're going to nail into it.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, he could have freaking done that. You know what? He either jackknifed that truck on purpose, or he tried to do the same thing and juked the one lane to the other, and the truck and trailer just did not want to do it.
And depending what you're hauling makes a big deal on what you got inside the trailer.
Yep, depends on if it's a solid load or a liquid load, or if
you're hauling water. Bottles of water. It's the same as running a tanker.
Yeah, you're gonna have. It's actually probably even a little worse.
Especially the pallets tip.
Because at least the tanker, at least the tanker has ballast. Doesn't the tanker have ballast plates inside of it to keep it from sloshing so much?
It depends on the tank. A lot of tanks will have baffles in them to help with slosh.
Yeah.
But if a fuel tanker straight, they don't have any baffles.
Oh, that's gotta suck.
Yeah, it was. And a fuel tanker, you can have anywhere from 4 to 6 individual pots that can hold anywhere from 1 to 2,000 or 2,500 gallons, depending on how the tank's constructed. So depending on what you're hauling to which individual station you're going to deliver that time, it'll depend on what product you put in.
Do you run a dash cam on your truck?
I have one, but it's not hooked up right now.
Do you normally run with it hooked up, or?
Normally it is, yes, anymore. Because, you got, especially out west, California used to be really bad, in Chicago as well. You'd have these fools like around the major cities in the Beltway, especially in rush hour traffic. They come sailing up to the thing, well, then they'd cut in front of you and smash brakes on us to run into them. Well, amazingly, you'd have 4 other cars to stop. I seen it. He hit my brother in there. Yeah, well, how the hell are you all related? And it was just a big insurance scam. They would have some beat up old clunker that should have never been on the road to begin with. And that's all they were doing. They'd go out and they'd smash to a stop in front of a truck, so the truck would rear end them. Then you'd have the big insurance claim and the medical insurance claims they'd put against you.
Really
that's why our insurance.
It used to be really big when I started driving, was the people fucking brake checking the.
Yeah, and that's why your average insurance policy for trucks about $12,000 a month.
Goddamn.
Yeah. Or $12,000 a year rather. For one unit. And that's just a basic liability policy.
was gonna Cletus and me were talking before our live stream, and we were talking about the fact that the front end of the Kia is all busted up, the green one.
Yeah.
And I guess he's listening, because I was gonna. He wanted me to explain how the hell I busted up the whole front end of the Kia so bad at 5 miles an hour. Jess is over there laughing. I don't know. You're not laughing. What are you doing? Are you snorting? That was not my fault. You know it. We were all piled in the Kia. We had actually just gone to go pick up the dog that we had, and we were on our way back. And down where we picked up the dog, there was no snow, no nothing. As we were coming back up, we got to Reading, and it was this nasty winter mix.
Yeah.
It was super slick, whatever, but there was only like an inch or two on the ground. We got up to go up 895 off of 61. They closed 895. There was 6 or 7 accidents just on that small stretch of road. It's individual accidents, including tractor trailers, just on that small section of road. It was closed. They couldn't pass it. So I put in the GPS, took us to the next turn, and as we were coming up over a crest, didn't realize that, like, I knew that the road went off to the left, but what GPS doesn't tell you is that there is a pretty steep drop off over this hill before it makes that left.
Yeah.
And the other thing is this road was plowed for the first, I don't know, quarter mile. And then all of a sudden, I guess whoever owned the plow pulled into their driveway or whatever, and the road was no longer plowed. So we had an inch or two of that wintry, mushy slush on the road. I'm going like 25, 30 miles an hour, not that quick. And get up over top of this crest, and I start braking, and the car just slides down the hill. There's no braking, there's no turning, there's no nothing. I let go of the brake just enough to get the wheels to turn, so I can at least somewhat make the corner and not plow into. There was like an ivy arch that you put plants on to grow up it.
Yeah.
And pine trees at the bottom of the hill. I missed those. I made the turn.
Nice.
Problem is the turn kept it kept turning left. I was faced with not making the left enough to keep on the road, and a boulder about the size of the Kia.
Oh dear.
And a driveway. I'm like, I'm not making far enough left to miss the boulder. We're going right. So I cranked the wheel to the right. We missed the boulder. Like, literally, there was a spot where the boulder came up like this before the boulder. You can see the tire marks where the Kia went up over that little lip at the bottom of the boulder. And that little lip was just enough to kick the mirror on the driver's side up high enough to miss the boulder.
God damn.
All right, so missed hurdle number 1. We missed the boulder. Now I'm not making enough of a right-hand turn to go down the driveway. I'm heading straight for a tree. We're now going to go left out in this person's yard because I'm not hitting the freaking tree. Make the left, same exact thing. The left side tire just clips the bottom root of the tree. I also just missed hitting the mirror off the tree.
Damn.
We do this like 2 more times, not as dramatic. The car's slowed down pretty much by now. We ended up in the middle of this person's yard. We're stopped. Everybody's saved. I missed everything.
Somehow
I missed everything.
Except for the sticky seat.
Hold on. No sticky seat. Everybody's fine. Nobody pissed themselves. So we're in the middle of this person's yard in a little valley. I mean, everything's downhill. So we get around. I see there's the driveway is off to our left. So I turn the car around, get to the driveway. Just before we get to the driveway, there's a thud and the car just stops. Get out of the car. We're like, I'm confused. It's like, what the hell? What did we hit? There's nothing here. Get out of the car, and I walk around to the front of the car, and here you can see the whole front end of the car is hung up on top of a railroad tie.
Wow.
It was only going 5 miles an hour. We were literally creeping through the snow to get back to the dude's driveway.
Mm-hmm.
The whole car is sitting on the rad support on top of this railroad tie, because apparently at the bottom of his driveway is dug into the side of the hill, and they use these railroad ties to keep the dirt back.
Yeah.
And by the time we got to where we were at, there was one railroad tie high, and it was mostly buried, but it was just a little bit high, and it was the very last one that we hit. If we would have gone another 4 feet off to the left, we would have never hit it.
Damn.
And so it busted everything underneath the front of that Kia. All the plastics, the bumper was ripped. You know, it was mangled in the front.
Oh yeah.
And so I didn't fix it right away because we were just going to go to the junkyard and go get another front end. We never ended up doing that. We were going to claim it. We thought about claiming it under insurance, but that wouldn't have been beneficial either. So we didn't do that. So after a little while of driving around with it like this, the wind of going highway speeds and all of that broken plastic, you know, it caused some of the plastic to rub up into the tire and wear away there. Some of it just ripped from, you know, being brittle plastic and being already cracked.
Yeah.
I ended up cutting most of it off. So like there's no under package tray in the front of that Kia. It's supposed to be a tray that goes from the front bumper back to the engine. That's gone. The front half of the wheel wells is gone. That was from it being cracked and being pushed back into the tire and it wearing it away. All of the grill pieces on the lower grill, they're gone. Same thing. They just, you know, with everything being busted, it was just garbage. And the parts of it that I left, because I left where the fog lights are, I just took zip ties, and if you've ever seen, I guess drifters do it a lot. Where they take the zip ties and they cross them like stitches, and I just stitched where the tear was back together to keep everything, you know, where it needed to be. And I re-supported the fog lights because some of the mounts for them broke too. I mean, it's a hack job. It's not whatever. Pilot, no, the cops weren't called. We actually had the neighbor. The neighbor had to come out and help us remove the railroad tie to be able to get the Kia back down on its front wheels, because it's front wheel drive. The wheels weren't even touching the ground. The wheels were suspended by like a half inch up off the ground because the whole front of the car was being supported by the railroad tie.
Now we all know the real story. You were trying to hot rod the Kia and jump a railroad track.
Sure, with my whole family in the car. It wasn't even a railroad track. There was no railroad track. There was no. It was just a.
Trying to pull a Dukes of Hazzard in a Kia.
Sure. No, I mean, you wouldn't have been able to see it because of the snow. It had a bunch of leaves that had, I guess, blown up to the backside of the railroad tie before it snowed. And then with the snow on top of that, it looked all flat. You would have never known that it was even there. But we ended up having to call the guy. The guy's neighbor came out to ask if we were all okay, and he came out and helped me remove the railroad tie. And he says, yeah, I'll just talk to the neighbor. He's not going to mind as long as we put the railroad tie back. Nothing's really damaged, you know, except for your car. You know, and we wanted to get home. And we had three kids in the car and a brand new dog. You know, plus me and Jess.
Yeah, they got a pretty good room, but it's not that big.
No, the dog was up in the front seat with Jess.
Right.
And then you had the 3 kids across the back seat.
Yeah.
You know, but nobody was happy sitting in a car stuck for, you know, half hour, 45 minutes to an hour.
Especially in the snow.
And especially after a wild ride that we had. I have footage of where the accident was. I don't know where it's at though. But yeah, it was definitely, you know, left, right. Shit, I just pulled that off. And then, like, you know, so made it all through that, and then hits a freaking railroad tie buried in the snow at 5 miles an hour after trying to get out of the yard. So, I mean, it's not too bad. I mean, that was what, 3-4 years ago?
See, if you had an all-wheel drive Cadillac, you'd have been
If I had an
fine.
all-wheel drive Cadillac, that thing would have probably freaking slammed into the damn pine trees at the bottom of the hill and cost me a goddamn freaking fortune.
No, it's all-wheel drive. You'd have been fine.
No, there was no traction. I don't care what drive you had. There was no traction on that road at all. You know, and the thing is, I think that actually it probably would have been worse. Chris, you're not getting pulled over there, are you? I see some flashy blue and red lights.
No, actually, we just come off a hill around the corner, and the entire interstate shut down. The cops are out in the middle of the street putting you off an exit because apparently there's an accident up here that's got the whole highway shut down. Right there it is.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it's real good when you consider that Atlanta has, I think it's a 6-lane bypass.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they're shutting down the whole damn thing?
The whole thing shut down because of the wreck. All lanes blocked, yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
At least there's a frontage road right here. We can get around it.
Yeah.
At least it's not rush hour.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah,
I
that
got 81
where you're at right now.
It's been a mess.
Where you're at right now during rush hour is stop and go. It's bad.
Yeah, there's a reason they call it. Yeah, all the radio says, welcome aboard, welcome on, good morning to everybody, welcome back to the Hotlanta 500. You'll be happy to know that by the time you get to work, you can go order your lunch and bring it in. I hope your breakfast, coffee, and sandwich last. Yeah, it's hilarious. Listen to the radio announcers down here because it's
I'm back.
You would almost want to be a freaking one of those food trucks and just park your ass on the freaking highway.
It would probably work.
Mm-hmm.
And people fucking stuck on the highway. Hold on, I can run out.
They got rollbacks
and
records staged in every get-on ramp
before we have to move again. Oh, all right, guys, it's getting late.
I mean, the closest explanation would be, the Fast and Furious movie where they all ditched out of the garage.
Oh my God! Yeah,
to confuse the helicopters.
Was it Nikolai that shared that thing the other day about car guys after quarantine is over?
Yeah, after yeah, exactly. But it's going to be that scene, but that's down here every day. They stage wreckers and rollbacks out on the get-on ramps for the interstate, and that's what happens.
They're just waiting. It's like the fucking alligator perched at the edge of the pool, just waiting for the deer to come down to the edge.
Mm.
It's
gonna happen.
It's
guaranteed to wreck every day.
It's like the cab drivers sitting outside of the freaking airport. They know they're gonna freaking get it.
Sure.
Yeah.
My friend used to do. My one friend from my old job, he used to do Uber, and he said that every time that there was a concert, you would just see the line of Ubers just waiting there after the concert let out.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's free, easy money.
Yeah. Or they didn't have to drive there and wait for, you're right there on it. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They just knew that they were gonna get a whole bunch, and the way that Uber works is it pings the closest driver to the.
Yeah, it shows you like 3 or 4 of the closest ones, and you pick which one you want.
It also gives
that almost make it pay off to have one of those Mennonite
vans.
vans.
Whether or not to pick that person up, so you can deny the fare as well, but.
Yep.
They'd be like, where are you going? We can haul 15 at a time.
Yeah, each pay separately.
Yeah,
my brother would do it.
Vans.
My brother would do it when a football game or something like that happened. He would sit out there and he'd put the XL on, which costs more money because it's third row, nice leather, all that stuff. It costs more money. But after it got so busy, all the other Uber drivers, you either waited for one to come back or you took an XL. So he made better money that way.
Yeah. He had an Exploder, so yeah. No. Yeah, it was an Exploder. He had an Exploder, so yeah, I would prefer that would be an XL as well.
I'm sure.
But he used to tell some good stories of freaking drunk people coming out of the bars and shit.
I did Uber for like 2 months. I hated it.
You're basically
I wouldn't do it again.
You're a glorified taxi driver without any of the benefits.
Not even.
You get somebody in your car, and especially if you like your car, if you customize it or anything. You know, they're in there stinking and spilling stuff or whatever.
That's why you run a vehicle with vinyl. See, actually, you know what? Skip the vinyl. We're gonna go straight vinyl lining from the beginning. The floor and the back seats.
Just like the cop cars with the plastic seats.
Yeah.
My one friend had an Impala that was an ex-cop car. And it was a Chiefs car, I guess, because it was blue. It wasn't like a black or a white. It was like a regular like Impala blue.
Mm-hmm.
But the back seat was like that. It was all it was a one piece back seat with the floors were some kind of like spill proof material.
Mm-hmm.
So it still had some of the options from the police car, but I think it started out life as a stock Impala.
Oh, okay.
Because, like I said, the color and the engine that was in it and stuff, it's just, I don't know. I would say it didn't.
It could be a detective's police car too.
Yeah, I think it was either like it wasn't a standard issue cop that drove this car.
Right.
You know, it wasn't
I bought a Impala detective car the other day. In fact, I have to put a condenser in it, but
Oh, you're dead.
Mm.
Nice face there, Cletus. Should I freeze that picture and send it to him?
And Sean, you're gonna have an AB segment
froze
for the
up.
one that's left.
Yeah, you froze up. We were all laughing at the face you made as you froze up. I was like, should I take a picture of that and send it to you?
I'll go back and watch it on the stream.
You're still lagging. You're getting caught up here and there. Either there's too many people on your internet right now or something else.
Who knows?
I don't have that problem as long as I don't have a problem with the internet itself, because there's no way you're using, us are using 250. I mean, she's playing a game online right now, and I'm live streaming, and I guarantee you, if I run a speed test right now, we're still running damn near close to max.
Yeah. Well, I'm on Wi-Fi, so I don't have the 1 gig speed or whatever, but I think it's still pretty good speed.
This is off of Wi-Fi, and I get 250 megabytes of download.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to run a speed test right now.
You can see it. It's probably just off. Here, I can move it over. Can you see the alien antennas? That's the Bluetooth. I mean, that's the Wi-Fi for. There we go. You can see it at the top. But yeah, it's one of the. This is actually one of the fastest Wi-Fi antennas. But yeah, so it picks up 250. I know hers is off of Wi-Fi too. Hers is 250. She actually uses the antennas that came with my motherboard, and I grabbed the antenna off of the Wi-Fi card that I bought for her computer, that she bought for her computer, because she didn't like the external antennas.
Yeah, right now I'm at 13 megabytes per second download.
Hold on, I'll pull this up real quick. We'll do one right here, because
it says my internet connection is fast and my server's out of Dallas, which is like 5 hours away.
All right, let's see.
I'm getting all the speed.
All right, so I have a 6 millisecond ping. With her running her game and me doing my live stream right now, I'm at 242 megabytes per second download. 244. I spiked at 245. And my upload right now is looks like we're going to top out just below 10. Nope, just 1014.
Yeah, that's what my upload was 1012 or something. But my download was only 13.
Right now, I'm using a lot of upload doing the live stream, so I'm mainly upload. I'm doing both upload and download because of the fact of doing the video chat, plus sending the broadcast signal to YouTube.
Yeah,
and just playing 7 Days to Die over there.
Well, I'm sure my kids are on the internet. TV's going, wife's on the internet, I'm sure.
Our max speed is like 250. So we're only using about I'm only losing about 5 megabytes a second download, and I'm losing about 2 megabits of upload right now over when I'm not using it. So I still got I could probably have every TV playing something downstairs and still not use this.
I don't think we have that fast speed down here then, because I think 1 gig's fast as we get.
Well, 1 gig is
1,000 megabytes per second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not anywhere near that. I'm getting 13 per second.
Yeah,
I'm getting 430.
That's the base from around here. When we got this internet service, that was one of the things we did end up with. The one place we were at, I think when we moved to Tamaqua originally, the most that they offered was like 12 or 13, and we couldn't even play. We had trouble playing video games at the same time, like her playing her PlayStation and me playing the Xbox. We had trouble. I had a hell of a time uploading videos. And we're talking several hours to upload a video.
Well, and I'm sure this computer has something to do with it too, because the Wi-Fi is kind of.
Well,
are you
to give Cletus
on
some credit,
4 or 5 gigahertz?
I don't know. I'd have to look. I'm pretty sure it's 5, but.
All right, see you
to
later,
give Cletus and his area some credit, they are still piping sunshine into some areas down there.
Down to where?
Where he's at down there in Arkansas.
Oh.
Piping sunshine?
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure.
What's that mean?
That went over my head.
I don't know what that means either.
Yeah, Chris, you just baffled me and Cletus.
In other words, they're a little behind down there in some spots. You know, they gotta.
I think that Miss Formie has the right idea. It's going on after 12, and I think we're gonna call it a night for you guys out there in YouTube.
Oh, you missed one.
What?
Your quick guess on what was in the truck and what's in the truck.
Oh well, we'll have to get to that next week because I have to be up in Wilkesboro by 9 tomorrow morning. So I'm gonna be up before 8. So we'll catch you guys next week. Should be here. Next week is another one of those up in the air live streams. If I get called into work, we won't have it, but because I'm on call next weekend. So catch you guys next week if I'm there. If I'm not, well then we will get to you guys next time we have our live stream. So keep an eye on us, 9 p.m. Eastern on Sundays. Catch you later, guys.
Later.
Take it easy.